And about Glenn, too. But people seem to be forgetting. Yeah.
Hello.
We're here. Guys.
We are here. It has been a week. Remember last week when we were like, there's not that much happened this week?
Guys, we have a whole diatribe.
We have so much to say.
Ooh, and I'm going out to dinner with my friend after this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot out beforehand.
A whole thing. Damn.
Hello, Moop. You are on time. We love that.
Hello, happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride to you as well.
I need to send the link to my mom.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, because she never knows where to find it.
Oh, okay. Hi, Girls' Generation. Hi, Tyler.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm in the wrong thing.
You're in the wrong what?
I just need to click a button. Okay, nothing. It's fine.
What happened?
I was still looking at a Twitch thing and not the YouTube thing, but it's fine. We're all here.
Okay.
We're all here now. How's everybody doing?
Everyone here.
Patty. Yes, happy Pride Month. Happy
Jake,
Pride
did
Month
you fill
to
out the form?
The Queen finally owns her work. Yes, Taylor owns it.
I know.
Taylor owns it.
We're talking about two queens.
Two queens
for this podcast.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I moved.
Oh, I haven't even checked if we had any email my heart.
Oh, yes. I saw Girls' Generation sent one just right before the podcast started.
What are these little crowns?
I think they've added something to the YouTube live situation where you can now, there's like a leaderboard now who's like talked the most.
Oh, that's cute.
Or something.
Like talked the most ever or like.
I think just today.
Just today. Ooh. Who wants to win?
I guess we'll see. I'm worried it broke our chat thing, but we'll see it. We'll see if the words start coming up. If not, we'll turn it off.
I feel like last two times
it's
came
taken
up like,
a second.
It's taken a minute for
That's
it
fine.
to pop up.
Hi, Montrez.
Hello.
Not happy Swifty Independence Day.
I love it.
That's so funny. Yes, Tyler, you're number one. All
right, Tyler.
Gonna submit payola for the crown.
Oh my God. All right.
Guys, between Taylor and Patty, it was like, I could think of a third story, but those are all the stories.
That's it. That's it. Truly.
Another one? I guess it'll be 2 more years until the match reacted Rep TV. I mean, if you look at the phrasing, I don't know if there's going to be a Rep TV, guys.
I know, which is kind of disappointing. I was kind of looking forward to
I think she's going to do Vault Track EP. It seems like she does care about releasing those Vault Tracks.
Sure.
I don't think there's going to be.
Sure.
What happened?
You got to chat more.
You got to keep chatting. The thing is, don't be too worried about the crowns. And Jeff, it seems like YouTube has started, which I think they do on Twitch, like giving crowns to people who've talked the most, in the chat. So just giving people incentive to talk. Hi, Grace.
Hello. Can't wait for the BET Awards Mariah tribute.
Yes, I love that.
Hello, Mother.
Hi, Mama Steele.
It ain't happening. No.
Thank God.
The vault is all we really need. I'll support Tiggy Matt's Rev TV reaction.
I mean, is your mom number one?
Yeah, Ma, how'd you do
Congratulations.
That? No one's happier. Taylor Swift's Reputation is the album that she thought she couldn't be improved. Thoughts? I just had some.
He had some thoughts that were too hot for the live.
I don't want this to be my New Yorker article.
No. Not YouTube giving incentive to spam the chat. Rep never got deluxe. I mean, I assume there will be Vault Tracks something from Rep. So
yeah, sure.
All you Rep stands.
Taylor can't not release something. She has something, she'll release it. I don't know anything about this Patti LuPone drama. I thought people were talking about Patti LaBelle.
No.
Finally, a Stranger Things trailer and release date.
Oh, great.
What's number one? It means you chat the most.
Yes, you have the most points in the chat for some reason.
I don't know what it means.
We don't know why.
Honestly, it means nothing. But I love you, Mother.
It might. Wait, actually, maybe it is historical because I'm seeing
that would make sense.
Jeff's number 2. Yeah,
just
like
given hearts.
Right.
Since day one. My mom is the OG 2Gay Mats.
We'll have to figure out what happens. Rep TV would be more pots and pans. Do you guys like Halsey? She dropped a song with Amy Lee of Evanescence and there's a music video. What's the chance you do a reaction? We probably won't, but I did listen to that song. It is good.
That shaky breath on Last Kiss, finally.
Oh, because I guess you have not been listening to the original. Wait, no. You haven't been listening to the original Speak Now, I guess, because you're missing. Guys, I was still listening to the OG. At least for some of them. Especially for anything that Max Martin produced that we've been trying to reproduce.
Yeah.
I have not engaged with post our reaction to them.
Last Kiss OG is so good. Thank you, Last Kiss stans.
Yes.
We were so shocked to find out that so many Swifties do not like Last
And
Kiss.
you guys should all join the Discord because all our Discord fans are anti-Last Kiss.
Haters.
And I'm like, Grace.
And we are just out there in the trenches fighting for Last Kiss.
It's true.
Thoughts on the Hacks finale?
I was expecting a bit more. I mean, I liked the finale, but the penultimate episode of the season will be discussed today.
I honestly think she doesn't like Reputation that much.
I mean, and people have been making a good point saying like half that album is like, oh, the public has turned against me and hates me. And the other half of that album is like, I'm falling in love with Joe Alwyn and he's the best thing in the world. So I'm sure re-recording that
Hard.
would not be fun.
Challenge.
Yes.
Challenge.
Style TV was a botch. Jesus. OMG called out. Yes, you are called out, Grace.
Better than Revenge. OG, I'm back. All too well, OG right.
I mean, I will say,
the 10 minute
is
that is
needed. That's my number one
canon.
version. That is canon.
Wait, people don't like Last Kiss? Yes, in the Discord Montrez.
And we're talking about Last Kiss by Taylor, not Last Kiss by Mariah. Which I think, no, you don't like Thanks for Nothing. Oh, forgettable. You are wrong.
Sorry. I really don't like Reputation that much, so I get that.
A lot of people don't. I mean, but a lot of people do. That's the thing. Yeah. It's her most divisive.
It is a pretty divisive album, yeah.
1989 TV was not it. I will say, I thought she did do a bang-up job on Blank Space.
Sure. And I like some of those vault tracks on the 1989 Taylor's version. Is It Over Now is good. They went number one.
It did go number one.
What's another one?
Now That We Don't Talk.
Now That We Don't Talk is great.
That song is great.
Yeah. Everyone can agree that Red Taylor's version is the best Taylor's version.
Oh.
Or maybe that's just Or maybe that's just because it was the first one, so it was like the most...
But those vault tracks are so good.
We Are Never Getting Back Together in 22 OG versions. You were missed. They sure were.
We Are Never Getting Back Together was
22.
22.
OG is incredible.
No versions.
Thoughts on Emancipation.
Oh, I talked about it last week. I loved it. Loved it. Now That We Don't Talk.
Hey.
Love that one. Guys. Yeah, she improved Out of the Woods. Also, This Love TV is so much better. I need to re-listen to those two. The idea of re-recording rap, it's so powerful. Of not re-recording rap. Oh, it's so powerful. I wish we got a video for Enchanted when she released this. I completely agree with you. That's what I was hoping was going to happen. Matt, does your mom know any Taylor Swift songs? I don't think mine would.
Do you know any Taylor Swift songs? I don't think she does.
Oh, so glad I can listen to When I Feel It on Apple. Yes! When I Feel It is so great. And I will say, not to spoil our reaction, because it's going to go up on Patreon soon, our reaction to When I Feel It, the Solange remix of Say Something, and the eccentric remix of It's Like That. Still didn't like When I Feel It enough. I'm going to say it.
Because he's like, we just got done listening to the Miley Cyrus album, and he's just like, oh, I don't like 70s TV vibe sounds.
No, I never said TV.
When I Feel It popped up, and it was like, and it sounded like the Price is Right theme song, and I was just like, girl.
I never said TV. You put that in on your own. I said I don't like Age of Aquarius, like holding hands, hippie nonsense. And you didn't understand the difference. When I Feel It's excellent. The vocal is unbelievable. The song is wonderful. Team When I Feel It. Yes. The rap production is just so specific. Folklore and Evermore, Taylor's version. I don't think so. She already owns those. No, giving me a hint like we do. Like of Taylor Swift songs?
Yeah, like a hint. What do you mean like we do?
I don't know.
No, they were just asking if you knew any Taylor Swift songs.
Not The Price is Right.
It sounds like The Price is Right. But she's a cute girl. I'm sorry. I'm looking to see if we had any email my hearts.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like sort of. That's why I'm like looking at my phone.
Great.
I'm not ignoring all of you guys. I love all of you.
Can we talk about the Joyride acapella? I had no idea she was doing all those harmonies. I love those acapellas at the end of that re-release, and especially Joyride. I've always loved that vocal. I think it's amazing and underrated. I would say Speak Now had the best vault songs. I love I Can See You and The Foolish One. Which is the one?
Which is one that talks about where she's
that's
got,
what
like,
I was
all
thinking.
The historical people.
Yeah, that one. The historical fiction.
Yeah.
MC60 coming in 2030. Stop. I love the 70s music, so the songs on the album, Wish You Knew Mine Again, etc., that give that are amazing. It is interesting that like that feels like the only album where those ballads have that style, and it was so successful. And Mariah loves to like, if we're doing something successful, we're going to do something successful again.
Yes.
But she chose really with the equals to MC squared to just go off like, okay, the hits were this, let's recreate that sound. But that level of depth and the timelessness was, yes, timeless is the name of that history. song. Ooh, top 10 songs of Taylor Swift songs. Ooh, I'm glad it is for you. Was kind of looking forward to codedly singing about Blake though. Wait, who's Blake?
Oh, like Taylor Swift having a song about Blake Lively?
Oh, I was like, who's Blake?
Blake.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Would she do that? Would she be that messy?
I've been playing Dancing with Our Hands side nonstop. That should have been.
You are dancing with your hands.
I completely agreed with you.
Yeah.
I love that song. Which is coming first, MC16 or MP5? Well, MP4 came out came out after MC15, so I have some time.
Yeah, exactly. And he's setting up his recording studio right now.
Yes, you see, there's a whole new rug back there.
He has got to soundproof the walls and everything.
It's fine. Not too much with Timeless.
Everything has changed his top 10. Interesting. I was about to ask if Palmer watched Stranger Things, but then I remember he's not a big fan of gore, so I bet he would strongly dislike it. Palmer's face is like maybe top 200.
I mean, I can't imagine. I don't think I've listened to it since we were on camera listening to it. That's what I'll say.
Oh my God, I'm just joining the live stream, but Taylor owns all her work.
She does.
Have you put up the reactions to the Mariah new tracks on
I have
Patreon
not.
yet?
No,
Okay.
I have not. But I would like to.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next day or so.
Isn't the baby at the beginning of Gorgeous Blake Lively's? Oh,
I think
forgot
that's
about
right.
that. Sweeter Than Fiction is so good.
I bet she'll write something about Blake for TS12, or at least a lyric, if not a whole song. Though Blake would sue. I don't imagine Blake wants to sue Taylor Swift.
Oh.
I don't. I mean, if Kim Kardashian has not
No.
sued Taylor, I don't think her friend, who probably really wants to stay her friend, is going to sue her.
I find it weird today was a fairy tale charted higher than all of Speak Now singles. That song doesn't feel that big to me.
That is weird.
That is.
And that is weird.
We also are in disagreement with
That's the thing.
the
I
Discord
guess
members over
why
today was a fairy
the
tale.
Discord disagrees with us on all our Taylor takes. I'll never understand,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
one. And the thing is, we agree more often than not.
We do.
Look at that.
I know.
That doesn't always happen.
We have morphed into the same person.
I don't know if that's true, but
Yeah, today was a fairy tale. Saying it doesn't feel that big is.
kind.
How are you two feeling now that you don't have to listen to Reputation? I was looking forward to it. That messy video.
It would have been a mess. Like, it just would have, like, people would have clicked it and been like, oh, I can't wait to see what they think.
Yeah, the
And
comment
then
section would have
it
been
would have been
a battle.
disaster. And I mean, who knows what the vault tracks are going to be? Like, who knows? Maybe the vault tracks will have a similar sound. It'll have to have a similar feeling. But
Yeah.
I do believe it's coming.
Closing Torture Postpartum with the manuscript made me feel like she was also talking about the process of re-recordings, but now it almost sounds like she was closing that cycle.
I mean, but who knows how long? I mean, hi, DJ Bob. I mean, she's been trying to buy these masters for so long, and I don't think this deal closed anywhere near the time that
No,
you
this
know.
was over a year ago.
Yes, yeah. So I think she didn't know this was going to happen.
Yeah,
essentially.
So yeah,
I would have supported the reaction. Thank you, Abby.
thank you.
Icon Bob is here.
Taylor's been collecting coins for years to get her music back, and I'm proud of her. Yeah.
Yes. No, it's really
Let's
exciting.
join the Discord. I want
Hey,
to know the Taylor takes.
hey, if you're a patron, you can join the Discord. And if you can't figure out how to, just message us. We'll tell you.
Yeah, whenever like the topic of Taylor Swift or food pops up, the Discord's just ablaze.
Literally, the food conversations are still. The thing is that you'd think we'd covered it all.
Nope. There's still always hot takes. with
There was
food.
a day, like in a few weeks ago, when there was a food back and forth where I was like, you know what? I'm legitimately not reading. Like, it was like 75 messages. And you were arguing, I think the fruit was better than dessert. And I was like, I cannot. This is rage bait. And I can't.
It's my truth.
I'm glad you have it, but I
It's a
can't.
fairy tale chart higher than love story. It doesn't sit well with me.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
That's
fact.
really upset. Well, Montrez, yeah, no, I'll tell you how to get on Discord. You should be there.
Take your things and be on your merry way.
Yes, I love that.
That's a song.
Take
That's
your
a
things
song.
on your merry way.
Oh.
I was listening to Equals Empty Squared today. And you know what I did? Skipped Love Story. That's not my song.
Justice for food. Upcoming artists should go independent. Record labels are the devil.
The thing is, the smart move, in my opinion, is if I were... It's like do what Tinashe did. Get on a major label for when you're starting out. And then they'll drop you, but you've gained all this fans via their marketing. Then you go independent and like churn shit out.
Yeah.
That feels like the move.
I mean, you say it like it's so easy to get on a record.
I know, but I'm like,
See what you have to do.
that's what you got to do. That feels like the move more so. Like, hey, Megan Thee Stallion got out of her record deal. She got one, but then she got out of it, and now she does everything independently and makes so much fucking money.
It's just kind of funny. Like my one teacher when I was in high school and trying to figure out like what to do for college and everything, she was like, "This is what you need to do. Don't major in drama in undergrad. Major in something else, and then for grad school, go to Yale drama."
Oh,
and I was like, "Okay, okay. Well, that's taking a big risk to just not major in drama with the anticipation of I'll just go to Yale drama for grad school.
I'll just go to Yale."
Yeah.
I will never skip. Love Story by Mariah, guys. No offense. Like, Mariah's Shake It Off is better. Taylor's Love Story is better. I just have I've never liked Mariah's Love Story. I just always found it kind of, I don't know. It's not great. It rubs me the wrong way.
Just a love story.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you guys check out that new indie pop song I posted in the Discord?
Character Development by Peggy Oxoga. No, but we love you. We get a lot of music. We'll get to it as soon as possible. But for the record, also a song I think is fine. I Stay in Love is the ballad on that album for me.
Sure.
Like, that is the one.
I Stay in Love is great.
Yeah.
Oh, I was scared we were talking about Taylor's. No, we would never discredit Taylor's Love Story. Love Story live performance.
Oh, that's true. I mean, all those live performances, they were kind of a similar vibe to the Emancipation of Mimi performances she put out. It was just Mariah and a guitar, and she was singing, looking great. Oh, and those little she had really cute commercials on MTV at the time.
That was a rough era for her in terms of like live performances.
I mean, they were pre-recorded clips, like not full songs, but it was like MTV used to have this artist promotion where like every time they'd go into a commercial and come back from a commercial, they'd hear like the artists of the week, and like they'd have filmed all these commercials for their album. And Mariah had one for Equals MC Squared. One is so good where she's like walking on the treadmill in her high heels with her dog Jack. It's a classic. I think Kali Uchis just referenced it in her tour announcement. So basically, Mariah's an icon.
Basically, moral of the story.
Moral of the story
Mariah's
is
an icon. Yeah.
Where would you rank the new Miley album in her catalog? I don't know her catalog fully well.
Yeah.
But of the albums I know best, I'd say it's under Plastic Hearts. Maybe tied with Bangers.
I think Bangers has lower lows.
Yes.
But I think Bangers has more sort of like statement pieces that sort of stand out.
Yes.
In terms of, because they were, that was like her kind of career creating.
For
album.
sure. Absolutely.
But I think overall consistency wise, I think it's better than Bangers.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah. So.
Palmer, you're so tasteless for the record. People just gave For the Record a lot. And it's like, yes, she mentions her old songs. Cute. It's nice. It's just the first. Are we taking? No, we're not. But a lot of people do love Addison Rae, and I support them in their choices. Yeah.
Plastic Hearts is still tops, but this most recent album is a close second. Yeah, Plastic Hearts is just
excellent.
New idea, battle of matching song. That's kind of funny.
Oh, I do like that. I do like that. Eagles of Squared has so many potential singles, and they went with Bye Bye. Yes, that was.
Mariah agrees.
That was the mistake. Yeah. That was a big mistake.
Migrate's right there. Migrate's right there.
It's just hard, I guess, as a Mariah record exec, being like, so we're not putting out a ballad, but that's an album that the up-tempos are just generally better. Mm-hmm. Like Cruise Control, Migrate, fucking, I mean, Side Effects is more in mid-tempo, but God, Side Effects is so great. I'll Be Loving You a Long Time. Justice for Endless Summer Vacation.
Bye Bye is cute.
Bye Bye would be fine if the This Is For My People's chants were not in it at all.
If there are other issues I have with
it. It's true.
I don't know. It's a song about missing the people in your life who have died, and it's called Bye Bye. Like, I don't know. It's just the whole thing feels tonally odd.
I do think the melody, especially in the verses, is very pretty.
Okay.
Yes. I think there are many good things about Bye Bye. It's just the chant is so prominent throughout, and you're just like, Mariah. It just also feels like she went to the studio being like, oh my God, what if we had a One Sweet Day meets We Belong Together? Yeah, and it's like, this is too, it needs to come more naturally. This is for my people who just lost somebody. It's iconic on Stan Twitter, though. Stan Twitter doesn't help you on the charts. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
So sorry about that.
Her album is my favorite. Ooh. All right. The thing is, I don't know Miley's stuff. Like, I don't know Can't Be Tamed or anything prior to full album-wise.
How do we all feel about the song Reborn?
Yeah, because
we should be giving it more.
We saw a list from Billboard that had it like 10th or something out of 13. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're all crazy.
Reborn is like top 2 for me.
Yeah.
I love that
her
song.
lesser songs are really good melodically.
Who, Mariah's? Yeah.
That era gave us one of her most iconic. Stop singing my part. I mean, an iconic moment. And
What
she
a
looked
moment.
so good.
Oh.
Those big old glasses. You look at that image and you're like, it is 2008.
Oh,
It is 2008.
Yes.
The way Palmer says Mariah. Like,
I mean, you know I love her. You know I love her.
Yeah.
Stop singing my part now, baby. I mean, when that lip sync track is out of sync,
Yeah.
there's a problem.
And I love just you resort to blaming the background
Blame
singers
background singers.
for everything.
The new Miley album had too many skips, I fear. Stan Twitter and the charts ain't linking up, especially now. One word to describe the Broadway drama this week.
Exhausting.
Oh, exhausting's right.
Stranger Things Volume 2 coming out Christmas.
Oh, it's Christmas Day?
It's Volume 2? What is
I think
Volume
it's
2?
Volume 2 means I think they did the first half of the final season, and this is the second half of the final season.
Fuck does that mean?
I'm just telling you what I think it means. That they've already released the first half of the final season, and the second half of the final season is going to debut on Netflix Christmas Day.
They're separate seasons.
I am passing along the messaging that I have gleaned.
Fine. It's not like Harry Potter Story 7 Parts 1 and 2. It's because it was already a book.
Right.
So I get why it's called Part 1 and 2.
I was not in the room making these decisions.
Okay.
I wish Mariah was getting her own night at the BET Awards. I actually do. I mean, the other people I swiped through and saw that were getting the Icon Award were deserving. But yeah, it should be all Mariah all the time.
All Mariah all the time.
Yes.
Hey, this is Tuki Mats, and you're listening to All Mariah all the time.
Oh.
First volume drops in November, second volume on Christmas,
Oh.
and then the finale drops New Year's Eve. How many episodes are in a volume?
Great question.
Which single do you guys like better? What Was That or Man of the Year?
I think I need more time with Man of the Year. I could
Yeah.
see myself growing to like it better, but right now I'm what was that?
I mean, yeah, What Was That feels more like song, whereas Man of the Year feels like important part of a section
Yes.
of an album that
Yes.
I will learn to like appreciate a lot once the album comes out.
Right.
These long songs on my album were a struggle for me. If you're going to release a 6-minute song, you need to earn it.
Saying pose. She does say pose a lot.
Singers are so active right now, and then I'm still stuck in Eternal Sunshine and Mayhem. There's 3 per volume, I think.
Okay, so it's a 7-episode season. We're getting 3, 3, and 1.
Then it's a season. What is this volume? What makes one volume different from the other?
Also, that's the thing. Each episode is like the length of a movie and costs as much as a movie. So,
Yeah.
I mean, y'all have fun. Enjoy
I'm
them.
glad you all have these. Sorry, my toes itch.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Did you did you watch the finale of Handmaid's Tale, or are you not?
No, I am 2 seasons behind.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the only
I
show
don't think
you
it's-
watch.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think there was too much time between season 4 and season 5.
Wait, you don't think it's going to happen like you're not going to watch it? That's
Last episode I
funny.
saw was end of season 4, and they killed like a
Spoiler alert.
What's his name? Joseph Fiennes. And I was like, ooh, can't wait for season 5. And then it was so long between seasons.
When they do that, it's tough.
It's tough because it's like I don't remember what
I
happened.
know, and it's like you want me to watch all
Season
of last...
4 was good though. I remember. Yeah, I like the chorus of Man of the Year, but I prefer the overall song. What Was That? Did you hear
that.
dropped a new song?
I did. I heard she's on the F1 soundtrack, but we're still mad at her. So
I listened
maybe
to
we'll get back
With You by Mariah a lot. Underrated single.
oh, I'm glad you like it. Like the
don't
new
like it at all.
curtains. Are the curtains new? No.
They're not new, but you just have never seen them before.
Well, they might have been in the last couple of videos, but yeah, thank you so much.
They were in the old apartment.
The rug is new, so you should like that, even though it's kind of just a blurry buzz behind us.
Yeah, you can see it a little more clearly. In
Yeah,
this
look
corner
over there. It's a
here.
nice-
You see a nice
nice
little-
moment.
Yeah. Still thoughts on season Survivor 50 cast. Are we talking about it on the podcast?
I mean, we can if you want to. It's not on my list.
I mean, the thing is, half of the cast. I think my thoughts are. I think it's hysterical that like the Survivor fans are so angry about it. The thing is, half the cast. I can talk about it a little bit because my Giving Me Moments is a little Survivor related.
Okay.
So I can talk about it a little bit. I just recently reread *Handmaid's Tale* and woof, in today's climate, it's tough. First season of *Stranger Things* was almost a decade ago. Rug is
Was
nice.
it really? Rug is nice. I like that as a question.
I know. I think this
I
is
do like it, but there will be more to discuss about it on the podcast.
Survivor, David versus Goliath. Oh my God, I'm about to talk about David versus Goliath. Don't give me any spoilers. Don't give me spoilers.
Have you heard the recent Julia Michaels EP? I have not. But we love Julia. We love her. What a talent.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I really hope you have all the info on Patti, right? Because I have some stories, but like...
I got info.
Great. Because I just like...
don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of it because there's a lot
right.
to dissect.
We only usually talk about the news for 40 minutes, so who knows how long this is going to frickin' say.
We only have one email, my heart. So
yeah, if anyone has another one, feel free to message us in the chat or send us an email at 2gaymats@gmail.com. And thanks to all the people who joined the Patreon recently to watch our Miley reaction. That's cool. And thanks for those of you who bought the reaction, because you can do that now on Patreon, where you just pay your $5. If you're like, I'm not going to watch any other shit, which you should.
You should. It's fun.
It's fun. And it's the same price, but whatever. Yeah, you can buy that.
Yeah, if you're going to spend $5, might as well get like...
Join the Discord for
some
more
stuff.
Yes.
Patti hates everyone and everything.
Matthew, are you okay? You seem like you're tired.
I'm always tired when I'm on these things.
That's what your mom asked.
Oh, no, I'm fine, Ma. Cynthia Erivo album next week. First 2 singles were excellent. Hey, guys, obligatory.
William, tell us what that means. It still feels weird.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Taylor Swift is back at #1, Billboard artist, and gaining massive streams. Don't be sad, mother. Not with this. Don't give me the sad emojis. Don't be sad. I know she's up at night, like laying in bed, like, is Matthew sad?
You seem good. I think you seem...
I feel like I seem normal.
I will say, I see Matt Steele before the lights go on. There are days where he's not feeling it. This is not one of those.
Yeah, no.
Mama Steele, I promise you he's doing good. There are some days just like, oh. But the night camera comes on, and you're like...
Yeah.
Which you're better at than me. You know?
You are good at it, though. Like,
you think so?
Yourself, like,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. There were some times when we started doing 2 Game Mats and we would just be recording a video and you were just like,
it's not working.
Turn the camera off. And I would just be like, okay.
And I feel like I'm supposed to become more of a diva as we get more successful, but it's gone the opposite.
Yeah.
I want to be a diva.
Yeah.
Well, not like Patti diva, like Mariah diva. Like
I'm sure Mariah has said some things.
She's never out, like, just by...
She wouldn't do it in a New York or...
Sure. And the worst thing she said in an article that she responded to Christina Aguilera, but that was just a response.
It was just a response.
Because Christina had said, like, oh, it might have been during the glitter time, so she was rude to me, but she might have been heavily medicated or something. And so Mariah came back and was just like, it is sad yet predictable.
Iconic.
You know the quote, which is not so bad. I think the meanest thing Mariah said was about J-Lo. And it was, a one time. So it was,
It was a one time.
It was a tough time for her. Yeah. And she said, because the interview was like, J-Lo gets to sleep 8 hours a day. I talked to her. She's like, oh, I bet that was such an entrancing conversation. So intellectually stimulating. And then she goes, and then she's like, well, she sleeps 8 hours a night. Do you get to sleep 2 hours? Like, no, I sleep about 4. But I would get 8 if I didn't have to write or sing my own songs either. Which is mean. Yes. Oh, and she said about Madonna, not just
Guys, that is meaner than...
No, she didn't call her bitch.
She didn't.
She didn't call her bitch.
She didn't call her bitch. But...
and then she said, but then again, responding to Madonna, because Madonna said she'd rather kill herself than be Mariah Carey, which is mean.
Just mean.
And Mariah said it was 1996, so this was valid. I haven't paid much attention to Madonna since, I was in like 8th grade and when she used to be popular. Which, again, like, icon. Like, that's the thing. Her shade is funny. And it's never just like, she's a bitch. I'm like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know her will forever be iconic. And that's the thing is, I don't know her was not actually that bad. Like, it was shady.
It's just shady.
It's kind of what Audra did. It's a similar vibe.
Yeah.
That was Mariah taking the high road.
And honestly, we'll talk about it. It's kind of what Patti did to Audra, guys. Like, there were people in the article Patti was overtly mean to.
Like the other, like...
Yeah.
Her name Keisha? What's her?
Keisha Lewis.
Keisha Lewis,
yeah. Audra was not one of them.
Okay.
She was more shady to Audra.
Right, but it's like Audra's the name, like the mainstream media knows, so of course they're going to glom onto that.
All right, should we just do it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Could you imagine, sorry, before we start, could you imagine like saying something so shitty that like, was it 50 or 500 Broadway
500.
Had to... It's just like, woo!
They didn't have to.
Not you being Team Patti.
I'm absolutely not.
Team Patti over here.
I'm more so just team everyone is exhausting. Okay.
Right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Oh, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. Oh, everyone wait. Stop recording. I need to do something. I don't have the SD card in here. One second.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Give me a second. Talk to the people.
Hey, people. Is Sutton involved in this? I feel like she's in all the Broadway drama.
No, I thought
No.
Sutton's track and Housewives.
No, we don't. No, like a real Sutton.
All right.
No, Sutton is not involved in this. We know that she and Patti have historically gotten along, and so I'm sure Sutton is just like, I'm not saying a word, not a single word. The fact is that someone in the business was saying, well, we all knew that Mariah won't start a fight, but she'll finish it.
Hello.
Mariah in her song Heat tells you how she will fight out. Not Sutton's track. Those vocals. We're not ours. You're done? Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, it's got to rent.
It's thinking.
It's got to think.
You better think about what trying to do to me. Think. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready this time.
Okay, great.
Maybe this time.
How do you know that song?
My friend Alessia sang it at a talent show when we were kids.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You need to get into cabaret.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, just go to the back to the top right. Okay, all right.
Okay. Well, happy Pride.
Happy Pride indeed.
Pride in honor of Pride, we've got two stories about two divas.
Yes.
And
one's a happy story and one's a little dark.
A little dark.
A
and I
little
can't
dark.
think of a better way to kick off Pride and to celebrate our gayness than by talking about all this.
And that's the thing. Divas regaining what was rightfully theirs and divas, turning 500 artists against them.
And that's what you can experience here at the gayest show on television.
Television?
Yeah, one day.
On YouTube.
On YouTube or wherever you're listening to this podcast.
Yes.
To Gay Matt.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I'll put the ad in.
Put the ad in.
Gayest start to the gayest month. Fair. Did you guys see Gaga perform at To Doom? No, but I saw a screenshot. It seemed like she was still in that coffin in the sand. So I'm glad she's still doing that.
Everyone getting the ad?
Yeah, or some people getting the ad. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out now Jameson's
crowns?
number one.
Jameson.
Your mom's number two.
I knocked my mom down a peg.
Maggie number three. Jeff number four.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a whole list of...
But everyone's got 75. What does that mean?
What is 75? Does anyone know how these live streams work? Because
This is really new.
we're only live streamers, so why should we know how
Right,
it works?
exactly.
Okay.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You start.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Two Gay Matts, the podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
It's Matt Steele.
And Matt Steele. How has your Pride been so far this one day event?
Oh, what did I do today? I went to work,
Yes.
and every time a coworker asked me to do something, I was like, really? Really?
During Pride Month?
During fucking Pride Month, you're going to make me, bring this dish back to the kitchen? Eat my ass.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is so unacceptable.
And then I went on a giant tirade, much like certain divas that we know.
Yes.
And I told everyone off, and I stormed out, and I did cartwheels all down the street to my car, and I drove up here.
Well,
after getting a
great.
boba. I'm just kidding. I was very good and pleasant at work because I'm a professional.
Perfect.
And I know how to act professionally.
Oh, something that a diva should learn.
A diva should learn. The greatest divas are the ones that act professionally.
Yes.
And I would like to be included in that category, so therefore I am. And what did you do during Pride so far?
So far, nothing. I mean, I've been kind of trying to put the apartment together, so I kind of took the day to unbox some things, get things in their right place. I got a new rug. If you're watching this on Spotify or YouTube, you'll see a larger rug that's better for the new space.
Interior decorating for Pride.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's a little on the nose, gays interior decorating, but I'm excited to get every week. I want to have a little bit more done. I just want it to feel like a home and not just a house, and we're on our way there.
Yeah.
I will say there is a negative about this rug.
Oh, okay.
We love the rug. It fits perfectly.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Unfortunately, I get the rug in here.
Okay.
I put it down. I'm like, oh, this is perfect for the space. It's a gorgeous rug. Everything's wonderful. I attempt to open any of the doors attached to this room. And darling, and the thing is, the rug's pretty thin. It's a ruggable rug. It has a rug pad underneath. It's not the thickest. It's not a huge fluffy thing.
Sure.
So I was thinking, oh, this will be fine. No. The doors can have varying degrees of open, but basically I can fit these chairs in here. I cannot get my computer chair back in here. So it will be sitting outside for all of tomorrow. I'm going to call up. We have a TaskRabbit who's done incredible things as far as putting up our TV and helping us with the garage. I'm wondering if he can do a little bit of just trimming of the doors at the bottom. Yes.
That's so heavy duty construction.
Hence,
you're not doing that during Pride Month.
I would never
We're going to pay
do
us
that.
straight to do that.
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah.
And so, so that is the plan, is because I would love the doors to open. I would love the doors to open, and we're not there yet. But I feel like by the next time you're here, that'll be the new thing, is that the doors open.
Okay. Wow. That's kind of scary. It's going to be like in that, remember that season of Top Model, Cycle 15, where Chelsea had a little space between her teeth, and Tyra was just like, for your makeover, we're going to shave it down a little bit to make it bigger.
Of course I remember that, because it's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
Chelsea wanted it so bad, and she was a really good model, and she was just like, this is what I want more than anything. Yes, shave my fucking teeth
She didn't get kicked off that week, did she?
No, she came in second place.
Oh,
she was the runner-up.
Well, second something.
It is something.
Yes.
But she's just like, I shaved.
That is wild.
I made my gap bigger.
Right. And I don't want that to be the situation here, especially because like one of these doors goes to the outside. So it can't be too much of a gap, Chelsea-esque gap. So I'm sure that, the TaskRabbit we work with will do a bang up job. I'm excited about it, excited for it, because I just, I missed having doors open. It's only been a day, but I miss that.
Exactly. What else did you do this week?
What else did I do this week? Nothing too crazy. On Friday, we went to the West Side because Jackson, for work, works in PR for authors, and one of the authors that he works with is in town and was doing a reading at a West Side bookstore, and so we went and were there to support her during that, and she signed his book and had so many kind things to say about Jackson and how, everyone loves him and he's just such a good collaborator. And so it was lovely to hear over here. And then it was nice because it was like, I haven't had a meal in Santa Monica in such a long time because I moved over to the east side of LA several years ago. And so it was nice to be back. And I was like, oh, wow, it's so sweet over here. It's so nice. Then I kind of just went on Zillow, just like, what would it cost to have an apartment or a house over here? And it's like, oh, nothing under $3 million, I see. And so I had to up it and just there was no top range. I was like, oh, you could buy a house for $7 million. And the one that was like $5 million was like 3-bed, 2-bath. And I'm like, what? What is going on in the world? So I won't be living there.
Okay, well, but you have this house here that you rent.
It's true.
Yeah, and so you can afford that. So let's be happy with where you are in your journey called life right now.
I am very much happy with where I am. And then Saturday, we went over to our friends Natalia and Eric's house. It was their birthdays a week ago or so, but they were both in a wedding or at a wedding, so they were not able to celebrate on their birthdays. So they had a later than birthday party, and so we had that. It was a very fun theme of kind of a Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter, like a dinner party, but on birthday. Is unbirthday a thing that happens?
It's an Alice in Wonderland thing. When it's not your birthday, you celebrate it.
Beautiful. So yes, we had that kind of party, and that was lovely. And then that night, we went to a Pasadena performance. It wasn't Pasadena Playhouse, but it was we saw a play in Pasadena, and it was A Man of No Importance. Have you heard of this show?
The musical, Lawrence and Flaherty musical. They wrote Ragtime.
Oh yes. And so we watched that, and so that was
Love
cool.
Who You Love.
Which one is
Such
that?
a beautiful. You just have to love who you love.
Oh, that was a nice song. Yes, I will say a lot of the songs not great. It was score wise, it's no Ragtime.
Bitch, what the fuck is
I'm just saying, if we're comparing their other...
Ragtime is one of the greatest scores ever penned.
And that one is fine. But it also was... But it was a little heartwarming, but a little sad. I don't know. I had a lot of mixed emotions, but I was glad we saw it.
So you felt things.
Yes.
So therefore you...
But there was one moment in the second act that I was like, oh... That was too bad. I'm hurt by this. What's happened in this show?
You wanted a more feel good.
Yes, and I felt bad.
Okay.
And I shouldn't be going into Pride feeling bad. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, so only happy things for Matt Palmer.
Yes.
For Pride this.
That's what I want.
Okay.
I know I lead with love.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I was up to. Anything else you did this past week that you want to?
Yeah, Memorial Day. I went to a friend of mine, Cole. He had a little party. He's the producer of the show, the TikTok show and Instagram show Big Top that I'm a part of. And so he had a little party get together for that. And I showed the crowd. It was very fun. I mentioned I'm really good at eating corn on the cob. And people were like, how can one be good at eating corn on the cob?
Which would be my question.
And I was like, let me show you. And I showed how I individually pull pull each corn kernel from its socket and to leave the cob like completely dry and clean when it's over. And people were like, that's actually genuinely impressive.
Interesting.
So I felt really talented that day.
I love that.
I know. And so I was like, congratulations to me. Yeah, I just think it's like, because I could only be at the party for like an hour. And I love how that's how I spent it.
Exactly,
like,
really.
Showing people my party trip. What else did I do? Oh, me and Ryan Bartley, director of Devos and Get Lost EP available now.
Yes.
And he and I, our good friend Lance, who he didn't work on Devos, but he is like friends with people who worked on Devos.
Okay.
So we know him. And he produced a feature film called Flux that has a small theatrical release going on right now. Really, really fun. It's about a woman who's an actress and she's like trapped in this house in this sort of like surreal thunderstorm, like dreamlike sequence and everything. And she's trying to escape the house. And every time she tries to escape, she keeps coming back. And with each time she comes back, she remembers like a little bit more about like how she got there. And it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very dramatic and very just like fun and really like impressively done. So that was really fun. And so, yeah, and that is about it.
That sounds like a good week.
I had a good week.
Yeah.
And just reading all the updates about the divas.
Oh,
Because every day there was something new.
there was a lot. We'll start with Taylor.
All right.
You know, just because this is a happier story.
Happier story.
A happier ending, a happier beginning, just a happier overall. You know, like I wanted the play to be. You know, the play was giving Patti LuPone. I wanted to give Taylor. News-wise.
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Artist.
Yes.
Songwriter.
Yes. Billionaire.
Billionaire. Has bought back the master recordings of her first 6 albums from Shamrock Capital. Shamrock Capital purchased the rights to Swift's masters for over $300 million from Scooter Braun in 2020, a year after Braun originally purchased them, and the rights to the entirety of the Big Machine label group catalog for $300 million in 2019. This, I'm sure you remember when this happened, because Taylor took to Instagram to talk about how she does not like Scooter Braun. How she had like wanted for her life's work to be hers, like how she wanted to be given the option to purchase the rights to 6 albums that made up such a huge chunk of not just her career, but also her life.
Yeah.
And she told us that she was not even given the option to purchase these, that Scooter purchased them under her nose. And that was upsetting. But then he sold them after like a year of, I'm sure, nonstop trolling by the Swifties. Like the Swifties will never forgive Scooter Braun, and neither will Taylor.
Sure.
And that will come up a little bit later. But yeah, so she posted on her Instagram on Friday pictures, a photo shoot that was taken of her with all of the 6 OG versions of her first 6 albums. And it was really just an exciting thing. She put out a statement that was very hard to read on her website, but someone very kindly transcribed it.
Why was it hard to read?
Because it was just an image, and it was like really little, like really her writing kind of thing. And it was like, Taylor, I'm looking at this on my phone. I can't like really go into this. But
you didn't transfer to a desktop?
I was, even on the desktop, it was small.
Oh, wow.
It's like, it was teeny tiny. Someone very kindly in the Swifties channel has written out it's also long, as you can see.
Of course.
But the gist of it was essentially, this has been my life's work, and like, this is the best day of my life. This is the best things ever happened to me. That would be an understatement. I'm so happy to own all the visuals, all the videos, I just feel like as an artist, you sign away so much, and I wish I never had. I want to be able to own the masters, to be the person who decides when this song gets used where, and like all the royalties should be going to me because it is my art that I, put so much of myself into. And she's absolutely right. But she does also go into, but I know your first question. What about Rep TV? And she's like, guys, I've only recorded a quarter of it.
I think that's the funniest thing, because everyone was just like, oh, Reputation Taylor's version's coming next. Reputation Taylor version's coming next, because it has to. Because everyone was shading debut. Like everyone was kind of just like, it can't be debut. It can't possibly be debut. How could she have? But that's the one that I guess was on the timeline coming next and everything.
Absolutely.
And so it's just funny because she was like, that one's done, but Reputation, girl, that was not finished.
In that letter, she was essentially like, I would keep starting it and like stopping and being like, this feels like the one record that I don't think I can improve upon. It's also, I think, hard to recapture for her, like the mental state she was in, the fact that the world had turned against her because of that whole Kim Kanye thing. And, she didn't mention this in the letter, but fans have smartly pointed out, half of that album is that I'm falling in love album with Joe Alwyn, her boyfriend of so many years, who they recently broke up in the past year or two or something. And so the fact that she has to go back into the studio and not just sing about like, oh, everyone in the world fucking hates me, but also the one good thing in my life is this blonde man who will not let me write about a relationship, allegedly. And he was the most beautiful thing that's ever happened. I can see why she would want to not continue with the recording sessions for this. And also, if she's not rehiring Max Martin, recreating that sound was hard enough on 1989 TV. I'm sure for Reputation it would have been as hard, if not harder. Yeah. So I get it. She said that she had completely re-recorded the debut, and she's excited about how it sounds. And it sounds like maybe we're going to get a Reputation's Vault track EP at some point, and that we're going to get the original, debut album. We're going to get that new Taylor's version. But she's like, now instead of coming from a place of longing and wanting, it'll be coming from just a place of celebration. Sure. So the fact that she made these re-recordings and was able to go on this Eras tour, and like that is the money that she used to rebuy her masters for supposedly $360 million. It's like, good for her. Like, what a love.
How many houses on the West Side she could buy.
I know. So many. But she wanted her art.
Yeah.
She wanted the right.
She could still buy a couple houses on the West Side.
I think she could buy all the houses on the West Side if she felt like it.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited for her. I feel like it's really good for her that this is like something clearly that means so much to her.
Yeah.
And that she worked so very hard for. And the fact that this felt like such a slight and it's turned into such a boon for her financially. And now everything can be wrapped up in a nice little bow. I just think it's really a sweet story.
It is. I'm a little sad for us.
What?
Because I was looking forward to our Reputation Taylor's version live reaction on Twitch.
I mean, that's something you were excited about, and I'm glad you were excited.
Because it just would have been an eventful night.
I mean, truly, when the Vault tracks come out, if you'd like us to listen to the original Reputation together.
I think that would be fun.
Oh my God, but people are going to get so mad at us.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun?
I guess. I don't like to stir up a hornet's nest. I like being on the side of the Swifties. I don't want to be the next Scooter Braun.
We're always on the side of the Swifties.
It's true.
Okay?
Yes, we love Taylor Swift, even if that album's not our album. But I don't know if the Swifties can see that. I don't know if every Swiftie can see that. We have lovely Swifties that are fans of us that are in the Discord even. But I don't know if people want to see us being like, we don't like gorgeous.
But also, there are Reputation is, I feel like we talked about this, her most divisive album.
Yes.
So I feel like the Swifties will mostly be fighting with each other in the live stream chat.
Yeah.
And less with us.
Okay.
I feel like they'll all just be on, and then we'll have that one person pop in every 5 seconds being like, do clean, do clean.
I did love that.
We had for our 1989 live stream.
Yes.
We had someone who was just like, react to clean.
Which is like,
girl, it's coming.
It's the 13th track on this album.
Yeah,
so we'll see how it all shakes out. But as of right now, I'm very happy for her. I think this is a beautiful thing that's occurred.
And it really says something about she really ushered in a movement of just like artists owning their own work.
Absolutely.
And asking to own their own work.
Yes. I can't imagine how many up and coming artists going into their first record deal conversations like, I'd like to own my masters because Taylor made such a big deal out of this.
Yeah.
It's a game changer. Say what you will about her, but it absolutely was a game changer, this whole situation.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm already.
Happy Pride.
I'm already tired, but we have to get into it. Patti LuPone on the 26th. Again, it was only the 26th of May. It feels like
it was Memorial Day.
It feels like we've been discussing Patti LuPone's New Yorker article for decades. Yeah. And it's only been less than a week.
Well, that's because there's decades worth of backstory attached to it, because there's such a history and a legacy with Patti LuPone and her meanness.
Yes.
So Memorial Day, the reason why I was a little late to my friend Cole's party was because I had to spend a lot of time reading and rereading this article.
Okay. So will you let me know, because I didn't read it in full. I've just seen some pull quotes. Could you give us the high level version of what happens in this article and why it caused such a flurry?
Well, there was an article in the New Yorker, and the headline is literally like, Patti LuPone is done with Broadway. Says she's done with Broadway.
Yes.
And she said things about this in the past, like how she left Actors Equity and was only going to be working on guest contracts from here on out, everything, just because she didn't want to be a part of the union anymore. And so it was basically a sit down. It felt like a lunch with Patti LuPone, where she proceeded to rip apart an artichoke. She ordered a fried artichoke. And if there's a trend I've seen in terms of like an actress being interviewed or like having a discussion with an actress, the way to make them seem as unhinged as possible is give them something to physically do as they're talking shit about other people.
Sure.
I've seen lots of like stories of actresses like having a conversation about someone that's like shady and they're putting on makeup. This Patti LuPone was every other paragraph was like she then decided to she was ripping out the heart of the artichoke. And this artichoke was stunning to me in this article.
I love
that. But that's
that.
neither here nor there.
Yes.
But in the entire article, it basically, she was talking about her career and talked a lot about how she's very outspoken and refused to apologize for her thoughts and everything. It went into... she was done with Broadway because she was tired of dealing with like the New York traffic. Occasionally, she would be in the car, and there's people walking down the street.
That makes
car,
sense.
and
Yes.
she would bring a bullhorn with her to scream at pedestrians. And the thing is, if I was walking through New York and Patti LuPone rolled down her window and screamed at me through a bullhorn, I'd kind of be like, well, my day's made. But
some people don't like that.
Some people don't like that.
Yeah.
But it went into like her history of back in 1994. She was very famously fired from Sunset Boulevard. It was a production that was happening in London. It was supposed to transfer to Broadway. She was supposed to transfer with the production. She was fired and replaced by Glenn Close, who ended up doing it on Broadway. She talked a little bit about Glenn Close, where she called Glenn Close in this interview the B word. And essentially saying, like, she tried to apologize to me, saying she had nothing to do with it, when I know she knew all about it. She talked about various other things, but the main thing that people are talking about in this article are two people.
Yes.
One is a Tony Award-winning actress named Keisha Lewis. She's in the Broadway musical Hell's Kitchen. About 6 months ago, it came out that... because the theater where Hell's Kitchen was next door and sharing a wall to the theater where Patti LuPone and Mia Farrow were starring in the play The Roommate.
Okay.
A play, so it was a little quieter.
Sure.
Hell's Kitchen, a musical, Alicia Keys music. Louder music.
Yes.
And so occasionally the music from Hell's Kitchen would bleed through the walls, affecting the play The Roommate in its quieter moments and everything. And so apparently the whole company of The Roommate, like, trying to figure out how to deal with this.
Is this something that happens?
This is something, and they said that this is something that happens occasionally. And so I forget, this is 6 months ago. I want to say like the stage manager said, "Hey, Patti, I feel like it would be most effective if you wrote to the house manager of Hell's Kitchen saying, can you do something about the noise?" Which I do not think was the appropriate move.
Yes.
Matters like this should be producer to producer. We should not be involving the actors. It's not their place. But Patti LuPone was like, sure. She apparently wrote a letter saying like, hey, can you do something about, can you change your cues or whatever, how loud it is, whatever. And they did. And Patti LuPone sent flowers to the crew of Hell's Kitchen saying, thank you so much, Patti LuPone. A little bit later, Keisha Lewis posted on Instagram essentially saying that she was like, this is a message only from me. It is not from the rest of the cast and crew of Hell's Kitchen. This is from me to Patti LuPone. I feel like what you did was bullying. I feel like there were racial microaggressions in this because like Hell's Kitchen is a show with a predominantly black cast, predominantly cast members of color, with music by a black woman.
Right.
And so often we are told that we are too loud, and there's video footage of Patti LuPone at the stage door. Someone asked her to sign a Hell's Kitchen playbill, which is weird.
Yeah,
why would you have
weird.
Patti LuPone sign a playbill of a show she's not in? And she's just like, I'm not signing that. They're too loud. And so Keisha Lewis was just like, I feel like this is bullying. I don't appreciate it, which started some discourse online. Is Patti LuPone a racist? And it's kind of just like, okay, this was, and even people online were kind of just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like this feels like a stretch. But that discourse quieted down.
Great.
But in this article, Patti LuPone, the topic of Keisha Lewis came up.
Yes.
And instead of just being like, I truly didn't mean anything by it, Patti LuPone decided to essentially say, basically discredit Keisha Lewis and say just like, she calls herself a Broadway vet. How many Broadway shows has she been in? Whips out her phone, Googles it, and it's just like, she's only done 7. I've done 31. And the person who wrote the article was just like, actually, Keisha Lewis has done 10 and Patti LuPone has done 28, essentially correcting it. And it's just like, you're not a Broadway vet, bitch. And it's kind of like,
Okay.
Like, I can't think of a more petty
Right.
response to this. I mean, like, truly, you don't need to be comparing this. Like, you're Patti LuPone.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like, 10 Broadway shows is a fuck ton.
Exactly.
And she has a Tony Award.
Right.
You can't, like, you can be angry at Keisha Lewis all you want. You can't say she's not a Broadway vet. She literally understudied Jennifer Holliday in Dreamgirls, the original production. So people were very upset about that. But then she also goes on to talk about Audra McDonald. She's asked about, because Patti LuPone famously played Mama Rose in Gypsy in 2008, won the Tony Award. Audra McDonald, who's the first Black Mama Rose to ever play it on Broadway.
She's currently doing it, right?
She's currently doing it now in a production. And so Patti LuPone was asked about, no. Sorry. The interviewer said, well, Audra McDonald put like supportive emojis under Keisha Lewis's posts and everything. And Patti LuPone simply just goes, well, that's very like Audra. She's not a friend.
Oh,
and the interviewer emphasized with a hard D. Friend with a hard D. And basically Patti said, there's been a rift between us, but I'm not going to elaborate. And the interviewer asked, how do you like Audra's production of Gypsy? Patti LuPone sat in silence for 15 seconds.
Oh my
and then
God.
proceeded to say, what a lovely day.
Oh my
So
God.
people were kind of just like, oh, first of all, like there's a feud between Patti and Audra.
Right.
What's this about? And also just like shading the Audra production of Gypsy and everything. So everyone was talking about this article.
Yes.
And there have been decades of Patti just like lashing out at people, like the famous time where she yelled at a photographer for taking pictures who she knew was supposed to be in the audience taking pictures.
Really? I didn't know that part of it.
Yes. It was a person who was hired to take pictures, and Patti LuPone stopped in the middle of Rose's turn, yelling at the photographer, stop taking pictures right now. Famous quote, famous meme, everything. She kicked the photographer out, and then it came out that the photographer was hired by the production.
Wow.
And Patti was told about this. Patti never issued an apology. I mean, there's the video of so many videos, her yelling at the woman who was maskless on the stage, who in the audience at company and everything, which I think like optically did not look great. Like that's a house manager or an usher responsibility to deal with. But yeah, so for literally decades, people have been like, yeah, Patti, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha.
Which begs the question. Should we have been doing that? Even like every time she was on Watch What Happens Live, she would every time get a question about Madonna's Evita. And she'd be like, Madonna's box office poison. She was terrible.
And she's a quote unquote movie killer.
Which,
But the thing is, I like Madonna and Evita. But the thing is, when I read the article, the passage about Audra, I was kind of like, she could have been a lot ruder about Audra, because like the fact that this is the woman who called Madonna a movie killer, and the fact that she just kind of chose not to say anything about Audra, I was kind of just like, wow, Patti, you're really I wouldn't say maturing, but like. But the Keisha Lewis thing was just like, this is beyond petty and rude.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of discourse, obviously, after this article came out.
Yes.
Should we be like enabling this woman in her behavior for as long as we have been?
And the answer is no, guys. Just from the outside looking in, the answer is no.
So there's like a part of me that's kind of just like, did we create this monster, or did we help to create this monster?
Because every time it becomes a meme, every time you're resharing the clip, and Audra was asked about this by Gayle King on CBS Mornings during the week.
Oh, and have you seen the video?
I have not seen the video. I've just seen the quote.
Listen, Audra McDonald, most genuine, lovely, professional woman on the planet. This was the first time I ever saw her do a smile where you could tell she was just like, I must smile. I must smile through this whole thing. Because Gayle's asking her the question and she's just smiling. And Audra just says, she's like, because Gayle's like, what's the rift? And Audra's just like, this is something you're going to have to ask Patti.
Exactly.
I haven't seen her in 11 years, actually. So that's just something you're going to have to ask her. And it's like, yes.
Very, very Mariah response. So it's a very I don't know her Audra remix. And I really loved that. I also think it's just wild how many people, because Shoshana Bean had countless Instagram stories discussing how horrible this all was, and how, as white women in Broadway, like you cannot, because it's like the fact that she is back to back saying something incredibly rude about these two Black women who like have all these Tonys, are Broadway veterans, and like Broadway gets criticized so often for being so white or so like not the anti-POC, and like it just is a bad look. But it's also like she shouldn't have been doing this in the first place. Like she shouldn't have been rewarded for this kind of behavior for the decade she was. And so Shoshana Bean, we should see all the things she's written about it. I think you can find those screenshots. Renee Rapp got on her Instagram stories, said don't fucking disrespect Audra McDonald or Keisha Lewis. It just felt like
the big one was Donna Murphy, essentially
yes.
saying like I have nothing but love for my friends who are my Broadway vet friends, Audra McDonald and Keisha Lewis. And it's like Donna Murphy's a massive star. So it's like, oh my God. Donna Murphy. I mean, Donna Murphy is probably closer friends with Audra and Keisha and everything because they've worked together. But it's kind of like, oh, does Donna have a thing with Patti? Just it begs to you wonder and everything. And so yeah, it's so that was exhausting. And then a few days later.
Yes, over 500 Broadway artists signed an open letter reprimanding Patti LuPone and basically asking that Tony's like disinvite her from the ceremony next week, right?
Yes, and to sort of like asking these major like theater organizations like hold your standards higher, don't invite people who do these things to your events. I woke up and I was just like, I saw the words open letter and from the Broadway community. And I was like, oh no, I'm exhausted already. I'm so exhausted. And to this, I'm kind of just like, this feels a bit much. Like an open letter, essentially, like I think Patti's bad behavior speaks for itself, especially with this article, that I don't know what an open letter like this would really accomplish.
The only thing that I think it could have accomplished is like, I don't know if there's a world in which we don't get that apology without that open letter, then I'm happy it happened. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that to me felt like, because the apology I think was valid and like whoever wrote it all together, did a good job. Because it opens with, for as long as I've worked in theater, I've spoken my mind and never apologized. That is changing today. I am deeply sorry for the words I used during the New Yorker interview, particularly about Keisha Lewis, which were demeaning and disrespectful. I regret my flippant and emotional responses during this interview, which were inappropriate, and I am devastated that my behavior has offended others and has run counter to what we hold dear in this community. And then the last paragraph is about like, I agree with everything that was written in that open letter, actually. So if it took that to get us to the point where, Patti's actually taking responsibility and apologizing for the first time in her mid-70s life, then like I'm glad they did it. But it's also, we do as a world, as a Broadway, y'all, as a Broadway community and as people who, love a diva to a point, need to check ourselves when we're like, oh, they're being so awful. Like, I do stand by every shady thing Mariah's ever said has never been like, she's a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like, it's not kind, but usually they're retorts. And B, it's not like, I don't know. It's not like belittling them as, oh, well. I'm thinking of some. But I think there's a line, in my opinion, Mariah's not crossed it. And in my opinion, to just say you're a movie killer and a bitch, that is crossing.
Yes, like Mariah's or when a diva is shady, that's what it is. It's more shady.
Yes.
It's not so much like curt, overt,
like
rude,
cruelty. Yes.
Like calling someone like a slur.
Yes.
And comparing like
oh, come on.
like a number of Broadway shows.
Right.
It's kind of like that's something you learn to adulthood, not to do something
yes.
like that.
Yes.
I learned. I mean, one time, me and my ex-boyfriend, when we were like 19, we got into a fight, and I made a point which I think was probably valid. I don't remember what the fight was about.
Interesting.
But I guess I thought my point was valid and everything. And after I made my point, I said, "There, I win." And my ex-boyfriend was just like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was just like, "What the fuck?" And he like went in and he was just like, "You can't just like end an argument with just like, I win. Do you realize how like immature that is and everything?" And I kind of was just like, oh yeah, I guess that was. And like I learned at 19,
wow,
like, I'm not going to do that. So like it's...
And I can confirm you not said there I win to me.
Exactly.
And we argue all the time.
And so, like pulling out the phone and Googling how many Broadway shows is very much like that, but it's done by a mid-70s-year-old woman.
Yeah.
I will say like, I'm exhausted by everyone in terms of all this discourse. It's like, yes, obviously Patti, like that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, again, like I feel like the Broadway community who, a lot of them signed this letter, like can be very catty and cliquey as well and shallow as well. It's just that they don't have the platform that Patti LuPone has.
Right.
And so yeah, like I find that like when they agree with Patti LuPone, they're just like, yeah, I love it. She speaks her mind and everything.
Right.
She holds no bar and everything. Like you can't pick and choose when someone is allowed to be rude or like optically problematic.
Yes.
You know? And so that was what was kind of frustrating to me about this letter.
Yeah.
Also, like the Audra thing, it's like Patti LuPone is allowed to have an opinion about she didn't even say anything about Audra's performance.
Right.
She was asked about the production of Gypsy. She's allowed to have an opinion about the production of Gypsy.
I honestly think
You know?
the only reason Audra is the top story is because she, to the mainstream media, is the person people know immediately by the name. So it's like, okay, Patty's article is getting a lot of buzz. She was really rude to this one person, but she was kind of rude to Audra, so let's like make that the headline, you know?
True. That is very true. I can understand that. And you know, Patty's a person who contains multitudes. I was talking, you know, my friends Megan and Lauren about this. Dr. Lauren. Dr. Lauren was just like, you know, obviously it goes without saying Patty's very incorrect here. But, you know, she also seems like a person who's like kind of troubled. Like it seems like some sort of like personality, like, I don't know, disorder, like something's going on, some sort of neurodivergency where like she thinks, because this is not normal behavior for an adult.
Right.
And so if we're going to talk about like care for people in like this open letter, not necessarily like that we should ever coddle or infantilize someone who's doing this behavior, but like maybe kind of lean in with just kind of just like what's going on. Like, is this person okay? Because the way she treats other people, it's like, it seems like she might not be. You know? So it just, yeah. I had issues obviously with Patty's statement, but also this open letter, especially the open letter comparing Patti just like kind of like being mean and rude and dismissive to like, they were comparing it to like Will Smith like assaulting Chris Rock and like the Scott Rudin behavior, like someone who was actually in a position of power that they could destroy someone's career and livelihood and everything. Whereas Patti, yes, she does hold power in compared to other actors and everything, but she's not directly responsible for someone's livelihood or like physical safety, you know? So I didn't really love the comparison of that in the open letter. So yeah, I have very mixed feelings about this entire thing. Overall, I'm exhausted.
I'm glad it's over. That's my feeling, and I hope she's learned her lesson, and I hope the best apology is truly change behavior. And so we'll see if that apology holds up in a year or two, you know? So yeah, it was a lot. It just was like every time I thought the story was over, and like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I was like, maybe she'll apologize. Oh, no. Maybe she'll apologize.
I was like, she's never apologizing. I was like, this you will never, if there's any person on the planet you will never get an apology from, it is Donald Trump and Patti LuPone. So the fact that an apology dropped, I was like, wow.
Right.
I was like, wow. And did she write it?
Who knows? But she posted it.
It's there.
It's there. I'm excited for her to change her behavior in the future.
I think she will.
Yes.
Yes.
And we'll keep our fingers crossed.
At least a little bit.
Yes. I mean, yes. I hope she figures out where the line is. And if she doesn't, then maybe no more interviews.
Then maybe go the Beyonce.
Go Beyonce route.
Bernadette Peters, she keeps her mouth shut.
Absolutely.
And the fact that Patti LuPone was on TV on Watch What Happens Live and was asked about someone was like, I hear that you have a rivalry with Bernadette Peters. Like, can you elaborate on that? And Patti LuPone was just like, that's ridiculous. Like, there's no like feud or rivalry between us. I hardly know the woman. And the fact that she could have totally said something. The fact that she didn't just means to me that Bernadette Peters must be a real lovely lady.
Or she doesn't know her.
Or she doesn't know her.
Either way, it's a win for the Bernadette fans.
Patti LuPone did shade Bernadette Peters' performance in Gypsy back in the day, because when Patti LuPone won the Tony Award for Gypsy, they were like, how do you feel winning the Tony Award for Mama Rose? And Patti LuPone was just like, well, you know, I mean, it's just the greatest role ever written for the musical theater. And so it's just a role that just wins you a Tony. If you don't win a Tony for it, it's basically them telling you didn't do a good job. And Bernadette Peters did not win the Tony. So I was pissed about that.
Okay, all right.
She was nicer about Audra's Gypsy than she was about Bernadette's.
Well,
so I'm still mad about that.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're still mad. I'm glad you're the last person on earth still mad about that.
I'm not. Trust me, the Broadway fans, the Broadway community.
Yes.
They remember.
The original Broadway cast of Hamilton's performing at the Tony Awards.
We love. And Cynthia Erivo is hosting.
And not
to bring it back to the Patti drama. But
yeah.
You know what I'm angry about?
What?
That if it was like Conan O'Brien or a comedian like hosting the Tony Awards, there would be jokes galore about this.
That's true. Cynthia's not.
That is not Cynthia's brand.
She's like, no, I'm keeping it nice and I have nothing nice to say.
I know. Conan literally like whipped out the Carla Sofia Gaston jokes at the Oscars, and Cynthia's not going to do that.
No, she won't. No, she won't.
I know. I mean, she's going to be great. But
she's going to be promoting that album. I believe that album comes
absolutely.
out. Yes, perfect timing for that. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what the Hamilton folks do. I assume it'll be something from Hamilton, because is it the 10-year anniversary? Yes, it's the 10-year Broadway anniversary. Yeah. I did hear that, who was the guy from In the Heights? He was also in the movie.
Lin-Manuel Miranda?
No, not the actor who's in Hamilton.
John David. No, he played Washington. What's his name? He plays Washington in Hamilton.
I hear he's not in it.
Oh, like no, that's Anthony Ramos.
Anthony Ramos, yes.
Yeah, he plays Hamilton's son in Hamilton. Why? He was in the In the Heights movie.
Oh, maybe they're just doing a song that doesn't include him. But I just am wondering, I feel like he's a big star. Why is he not included in this 10th anniversary?
Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's in Europe or something.
I don't know.
Maybe he's busy.
Maybe he's busy. I just feel like the real Broadway drama got overlooked.
What's happening here?
What's happening here?
Where's the feud here? Is he feuding with Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I bet he is.
What are they calling each other behind closed doors and not in interviews?
Quietly, right.
Eating artichokes.
Exactly. Something rude, I'm sure. Speaking about someone who says things rudely and is on Broadway, Lea Michele. It's returning to Broadway in a revival of Chess.
I mean, I'm excited about Chess.
Chess. Aaron Tveit, Lea Michele, and Nicholas Christopher. I don't know Nicholas, but
I don't either, but I'm sure he's lovely.
You're a big Chess fan?
Oh, Chess is fantastic. It's a weird show.
Would I like Chess?
You would like some songs in Chess.
Okay.
I think the show itself, you might be a little like, this was odd. It's definitely not for June, because we know you like happy shows in June.
Do like happy shows in June.
Chess isn't a sad show. It's got dark. I don't know. It's basically, do you know the premise of Chess?
No.
It's essentially about an international chess competition between a guy from the U.S. and a guy from Russia. And it's all about, essentially, the whole thing is a metaphor for the Cold War.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So does that sound like it's up your...
I'll see it in July.
Great singing. Great singing. But also, Lea Michele, interesting. Listen, if Lea Michele can rise back up in the ranks of the...
She just had to be like, well, I can sing the part if Beanie can't, and now everybody loves her again, I guess. But we know what you did.
Yeah,
we know what you did.
Like Broadway people, like
very fickle. That community.
Like, no matter how loud people can sing, it's like you gotta remember.
You gotta really.
You gotta. The thing is, I hope that Lea Michele has changed the era of her ways. I believe people can grow and change.
Yes.
So I have faith that she at least somewhat.
Yes.
So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt regarding that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Those Glee cast members disagree. They're like, I've known this girl. She ain't changed. But maybe we're all wrong.
Maybe
she's doing great.
I don't know her. I never met her. So I can't say with full certainty.
So are we going to say that there are more like monstrous divas on Broadway than in pop music?
Oh, yeah. guys, listen. I love musical theater. I love the people.
Yes.
But when I hear the words Broadway community, a cold shiver goes up my spine.
Because you think most of them are monstrous divas.
No, I would never say most of them. That's crazy.
I'm just asking. I'm asking.
I'm just saying, for a community that... It's not the fact that they're so monstrous compared to other like mediums or whatever. It's the fact that they really tout how much of a family and a community they are. So it's a little holier than thou. Right. At least like the music industry, they're kind of like, yeah, there's some monsters here. And we just don't like dealing with them. The film industry, they're just like, yeah, there's some monsters. Like we try to like avoid. But the Broadway community, it's just kind of, they're just like, no, we love each other. It's the most open, inviting, wonderful space and everything. It's like, I have met some, listen, I hate using the word toxic. I think that it is a very overused word and I think people abuse it to describe people who aren't necessarily toxic. But it's like anyone who you don't like people describe as toxic nowadays. And I find that very annoying.
Sure.
I'm very blessed that there are fewer people that I can count on one hand that I would personally describe as toxic.
Great. Okay.
Yes, that's less than 5. All of them are people who I know through theater. So I'm not saying that all people who are toxic. I'm not saying that all theater people are
right.
toxic.
But if we're going by the percentages,
I'm just saying y'all aren't totally innocent either. Okay.
And I'll say just overarching warning for anyone who is ever going to have a job. If your job ever refers to your job and your coworkers as a family, it's a cult. So
it's a little culty,
it's
and
a
that's
cult.
what makes me unsettled a little bit.
Yes, I hear that.
And I love theater people. Like, obviously, like, theater is my number one go-to. It's how I started becoming the person I am today.
Sure. But you've seen some things.
But I've seen some things. I have never experienced a diva meltdown on any film set or anything like that. I have experienced some behavior in doing some theater.
Okay.
Yes. And I just hold my head down and I just breathe and I just wait for it to be over.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And I just go, I don't want to be a part of that.
Whatever that is.
I will be nice and courteous.
Yes.
To them, obviously. If I bump into them, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just say, I keep my distance.
I think that's wise.
Who? Queen Bernadette Peters.
Oh, great. You're the Bernadette of,
Oh, I am.
young gay Broadway elites.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande is going to be in Meet the Parents 4.
I'm so excited about that.
I think that's
love how
cool.
She's like, well, I'm an actress now.
I know. I'm like, I hope those girls aren't waiting for an album because I feel like she is going to be doing the movie roles for a while. I'm glad that she's doing a comedy because she was I knew she was going to be great in Wicked, but like so unexpectedly hilarious throughout that whole movie. I can't wait to see the second part of it this November. But apparently she is playing the ball busting, all wrong for him fiance of Ben Stiller's son in the new movie. And apparently, according to Hollywood Reporter, Ariana turned down other projects from Universal, Sony, and Warner Brothers. The source said that Warner Brothers even offered Grande the chance to pick her co-star, but she declined.
Wow.
So I guess this must be a good script if she's like, this is going to be my first post-Wicked outing.
And the thing, I think Ariana Grande is very much like, I want to do things that I'm a fan of, that I'm passionate
Absolutely.
about. Like she's always been willing to do those things. It's like she did the like Jason Robert Brown Zoom concert.
Yes.
It's like, 'cause you could tell she's like, oh, I'm singing Still Hurting somewhere. Like,
As you
I am
should.
going to be doing this. She's like, no, I want to do Wicked because that is the story of my
Right.
life. Like, that is the show that built me into the person I am.
Yeah.
And so with this, she's probably just like, I love Meet the Parents, and so she wants to be a part of it. And she got a chance to work with Robert De Niro.
I mean, come on.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. It seems like a lot of these more recent choices are like her honoring her younger self.
And
I
that's
feel
when you give the best performances.
Absolutely.
When it's stuff you genuinely want to do.
And I feel like she's described in interviews feeling like as like the pop star, the pop career and the pop persona took hold, it was like, I feel less and less like myself every day. And it seems like recently she's gotten back to herself. And this is just another way to honor the young Ari. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right.
We are all theater kids deep down. Especially during Pride.
I don't know if I'm a theater. I mean, I have my moments, but I don't know that I'd call myself a theater kid.
We had just reviewed the movie The Sound of Music for Patreon.
We did.
And Matt Palmer said he liked about 65% of it.
That's true. Does that count as theater kid?
That counts as entering theater kid territory.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Which is a larger percentage than I was expecting.
Yes.
In fairness.
Next, you're going to be obsessed with like the cast recording of She Loves Me, and then my mission will have been complete.
I guess we'll see.
Yes.
Speaking of pop stars going into film, Sabrina Carpenter is reportedly being eyed for a role in Mamma Mia 3.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a Mamma Mia 3.
Apparently
Theaters
it is.
It is June. Tony Awards are coming.
I know. And all the gay news needs to come out.
Yeah.
And you know who's excited about this whole article? Gays.
Gays.
Period.
What? Is it just going to be the same song?
That I don't know. Quote, this is a quote from the producer. She'd be a goddess or some relation who would look very much like Meryl Streep, she says about Sabrina in the third Mamma Mia movie.
Okay.
Cool. All right. I guess we'll see if that comes together. But Freaky Friday 2 is happening. So anything can happen. Okay. This news I'm mad about.
All right.
Not because, look, I want everyone to be successful. And if this is something that people are clamoring for, I think that's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. But.
Oh, that was a Patti LuPone, but that was a very loud.
Fifth Harmony is reportedly in talks to reunite minus Camila Cabello. Mm-hmm. Guys, Fifth Harmony as a group never made any sense. They had a couple of good songs. Like I love Work From Home. They on that first album there are a few good songs. I just can't believe that after Motivation and after Dopamine, which is a great record that y'all did not pay enough attention to.
Insomnia,
unbelievable. that Normani would go back to this group so soon after finally launching her first album. Like, call me naive. She said there were videos. She said she filmed some videos. I believed her. I would like to see them.
To quote the famous video clip that everyone shares, pulling out the facts, it was a lie. It was all a lie.
It was all a lie. It's clearly just in talks, and we'll see what happens. I feel like we as a pop music community deserve an artist like Normani, and I feel like she's going to get that hit again, like something motivation level, and then have an album ready to go, and then all will be well in the world.
All right, you know what you need to do? The pop music community needs to write a fucking open letter.
Hey.
The power of an open letter it drives me nuts, and I'm just like, oh God, this is a little insufferable, but the power of an open letter can get Patti LuPone to apologize. This is a woman who, when she was fired, literally like tore apart her dressing room in London. Okay?
If I write the open letter, will you be the first person to sign?
I'll sign this.
Yeah, sign it.
Just like, hey, Normani, like, release the videos.
Release the videos and do more music and don't go back to Fifth Harmony.
All right. What else? Yeah, sure.
I want
It's
all of
important to
that.
have a
I
cause.
mean, it's fine. Go on a reunion tour in like 15 years. Like, you haven't been gone.
They just broke up.
It's not been enough time for us to miss them.
The Spice Girls' first reunion tour was a longer gap between.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Normani, there's so much you can give us, and I believe in you so much. And I would hate to see.
Maybe she's going to use this tour to like re-promote herself. Maybe release a song.
But we don't know if it's a tour or if it's an album or what it is. They could be making
it could be a whole album.
I don't want that.
Look.
Normani.
Look. Speaking of enabling bad behavior, we didn't forget what Camila Cabello did.
Oh, yes. We did not. I feel like a lot of people have.
Okay.
But we have not.
Yeah. That's always just something I want to bring up. It's just like how quickly we forgot about this.
No, I did not forget.
And I hope that she has evolved since then.
I hope so too.
Yes.
So much bad behavior.
So much, yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah. I mean, look, none of us is perfect.
Well, I've not done any of the things that those people have done. So, in Pride news, David Armstrong, 32, might fight to get more money in divorce to David Geffen, 82. Apparently, David Geffen, billionaire in his 80s, was married to a 32-year-old gay man.
Great.
And they're divorcing.
Okay.
And David's like, I want that money. And to that I say, and apparently there was no prenup.
Oh, David.
Wild.
David.
And David's trying to say, I didn't like make any money, really. I was retired by the time we got together. But, Mr. Armstrong is saying, well, your properties you purchased, or like those are values that you acquired while we were together. So shouldn't I get half of that? And you know what? If anything, this is teach you, if you're going to get in a marriage like this, where the money's, up and down, you got to sign that prenup. You got to have that person sign the prenup.
Yeah.
And if not.
Hell, I own nothing but a Carol Channing doll and a violin from decades ago. And even I will be like, those are mine.
Absolutely.
You can't take that shit. Signing a prenup for those.
Yes. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know what?
That's right.
David Andrew Armstrong, you better work. I mean, I'm sorry, David Geffen.
It's kind of like Honora when she's, spoiler alert, when she's just like, I didn't sign a prenup, so I'm going to sue you for half and everything. And I do think she had a case.
Oh, she absolutely had. Yeah. She was intimidated.
I mean, like the woman who was the billionaire oligarch was just like, if you do that, your life will be destroyed.
Right.
And it's like, which kind of vaguely sounded like a physical threat of some kind.
Right.
And so she's probably just like, okay, no, I'm not going to fight this, I guess. But still, like, ooh, that's very rough.
Very rough.
That's very rough.
Sydney Sweeney is selling soap containing her used bathwater. Do you have anything to say about that?
All right. You know how I just said that the Broadway community might be a little much?
Yeah.
This is a little much.
Fans always joke about wanting my bathwater. I was like, this is such a cool way to give them what they want. Sydney Sweeney.
How many baths does she take?
And
how does she collect this bathwater?
If anyone listening to this buys this, we're worried for you.
Yes.
Like, we're just worried for you.
Yeah.
Why?
The thing is, I feel like so many people are going to buy it, like, just because they're just like, what is this? Like, they're going to be like, what is this?
Don't buy it. It's weird.
It's very weird. And happy Pride.
And I guess it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if she's getting all these weird messages, at least she gets to profit on it a little bit. But
yeah, like, like, if y'all are gonna be weird with me, I'm gonna make some money off.
And
of
and then maybe she'll just get everybody's name and number and be like, okay, this is the list of people.
Restraining order.
Restraining
all
order.
the people who have bought this. That's very smart.
You know what? That actually makes sense. I'm back around to liking it.
Good for her. A businesswoman. Our next billionaire, ladies and gentlemen.
And her Euphoria co-star, Hunter Schafer. I just had to announce this because it's a great idea. Apparently is being eyed for the movie version of Legend of Zelda.
I love this.
Perfect casting.
I know. The funny thing is there's a thing going around on social media of like a picture of her next to Sydney Sweeney. And it's like a conservative poster posting this saying like, one is playing the Legend of Zelda. One is a real woman. And the thing is everyone is commenting. They're just like, why would you... If you want to make this point, why would you pick the most Zelda-looking picture of Hunter Schafer you could possibly? She looks exactly like Zelda, and so like you're literally just disproving your point that like this person is perfect for Zelda.
Right. It would be wild not to pick her. Sydney Sweeney looks nothing like Zelda.
No,
Hunter Schafer looks just like her.
Just like Zelda.
Oh, and Zelda, what a queen! A great game. Every time I saved her, it was great. And also in the latest version on the Switch, you can actually play as Zelda. It's very fun.
Oh, you couldn't always play as Zelda?
No, you played as Link because you're trying to save Zelda.
Yeah, who's going to play Link? I'll play Link. Do I look like Link?
Link has a hat on, so sure.
I don't wear hats. I can't do that. This role's not me. I don't wear hats. I can't relate.
I'll get back to the Hacks finale later. Is there any other news for idiots you want to talk about? Oh, wait. Survivor or something?
Oh, I'll talk about it later for Give Me Moments.
Great. Okay.
Well, My Give Me Moments is kind of light, so we'll talk about the news of Survivor.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Yeah. And then be back with more 2K Match the podcast.
Bye.
Not bye.
Yeah, they know. Listen to the ad.
Okay. Oh, not 54 minutes.
Whatever. We'll make the next one.
We were talking.
I know. I have to be I'm going to dinner with my friend at 9. So.
Ooh. You can do it. I hope people straight talk to Gamerman are nice to Hunter. She's stunning. She's beautiful, and she's perfect for that role.
Yeah,
perfect. Buy eggs. I saw someone ask us. We did not turn on the crowns thing. That was something that YouTube did.
Oh, Yazzy's now #1.
How do you win experience points? Just from talking? But I don't think Yazzy's been talking the most. Grace is 125. She's in 3rd. How does this work? I guess there's a question marks.
Community leaderboard, XP. What is leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in the live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages. Send super chats and super stickers. Are you guys sending stickers?
I think those things are the ones that cost money. Oh. Yeah. Okay. You can do it. Keep showing your support. Oh, I'm not in the top 50. Damn it. I guess I could. I'll say something.
Hi.
Will I get higher? Hi, Ava. Oops, I had a comma after that. Hi. I just wanted to be on the list. Am I on the list? Yes, I have 25 XP.
Yes. Okay. Now he's treating this like a video game.
All right. Now I get why it's fun. Totally.
Okay. Interesting.
I went from 5th to 9th. And I'm here every Sunday. Yes. Thank you, Steve, for being here. So kind. Am I on the list? Oh, I'm 37.
Oh, damn.
That's.
Oh, and I was about to be like, and you are 37 in real life, but not anymore.
Yeah, when's your birthday? It's coming up this month, right?
It sure is.
Yes.
But I'm not 37 yet.
Well, you'll be there. Very soon. Very soon.
Don't be rude like Patty.
I am not saying you're turning another age. It's not rude.
If there is a fucking interview with you and you mention my age, I'm going to be like, he's threatening me.
How is it a threat?
Because it's a threat.
I just texted my ex, Ava. Why?
Okay. Stay strong, girl.
Yes.
Stay strong.
Moving up. Sorry, now I'm into the leaderboard. Oh, sorry, guys. This is what I want to do.
That's what me doing. I got a dinner appointment at 9, and he's just
leaderboard.
And he's trying to play this damn game.
I have 50 XP.
Oh God,
this is fun. 13. I'm Taylor's favor's number.
Oh my God, that means you won. Whoever ends the chat at 13 is the winner.
Oh my gosh.
Gets the Taylor's gonna send you the newly recorded Reputation tracks.
Hey, at Ava, no, do a new rule. That's true. 1, don't pick up the phone.
But he was the one text. in the song.
Oh, that's true.
He's only calling because he's drunk and alone.
True.
Ava, are you drunk and alone?
No, she's not. She's with all of us.
She's with all of us. We're here for you.
I'm watching Survivor out of order. What is that, Ava Max? Did you text Circuit? I'm still 9th. 9th is good. It's better than 13th.
9th is fine.
And 9th out of 100 people?
Solid.
I love that.
You're
whenever we
special.
put Taylor. The thing is, it's like, do we just put Taylor in the fucking headline even though we have no news about her? Because people just join.
Yeah.
Right.
Taylor Swift. Something.
Still
random.
alive.
Taylor Swift.
I saw she's-
agrees that Smurfs is number 1 at the box office.
She went to Miami to support her boyfriend in spring training or whatever.
That's great.
That's great.
We love supportive.
We love a supportive
we love
partner.
supportive partners.
Yes.
And football season's coming up. So
Football fall.
yeah, I think football starts
Yeah.
in September. I hope they keep re-airing my commercial.
Oh, hey, they aired it on things that weren't football, didn't they? They aired it on. Oh yeah, because I think it was
They aired it during the what's it called?
March Madness.
Not March Madness. I think they did that, and they also aired it during what's it called? Where you like pick your players.
Thank you, Mats, for offering virtual tickets to your NYC show. I can go in person, unfortunately. Oh my God, that's so nice. Thank you for getting a ticket for the virtual. And the thing is, this is a great venue. And I mean, we'd love to offer it in every place we go to, but they had this offering. And I was like, oh yeah, so many of our fans are not able to go in person, but you should if you're in the tri-state area. We should send out an email to like people we know in New York in the next week or two.
We should.
Just so people are like, get your ticks.
Stop talking to a guy because he called Blue Ivy a talentless Nepo baby, and I don't date wrong people.
Blue Ivy's dancing her face off on that tour. She's doing a great job.
And also, she's 13.
I know, we're talking about a child.
Child guy. And like,
people are so weird about Beyonce's kids. It's unbelievable.
yeah.
Oh, the draft. It got played
The
during
draft,
the draft.
that's the word I didn't know because I don't know anything about
Why?
sports.
And also, yeah, imagine watching the draft. You must be super into it.
People, listen, if there was a draft for like Big Brother players, I'd watch that.
Of course you would.
I would watch that shit.
OMG, how much are virtual tickets? 10, I think? And they would be 8 if you become a patron and you get the chatty, or the code. Not me just saying what the code was, but yes, go to Patreon, find the link. But yeah, it's $10 if you're not a patron.
Taylor got robbed at the AMAs. They needed her fans cheering too. I feel like boycotting next year's AMAs.
Don't worry, no one's watching the AMAs. I did see Billy won a lot, so that's nice for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally what I said. I told him that he's 33 and he could never.
Michael, not to pry, but are you coming to the live show in New York?
Whoa, putting Michael on the spot.
I'm just saying.
Whoa.
We'd love to meet you.
So weird about her kids. I hate when people say, where's there anything? All 3 of her kids want to be on stage.
It's just like
Stage is a numbers kid. That's what Tina says.
Oh, sir, the number.
Yeah.
It's also just like you're talking about a 7-year-old.
About a 7-year-old.
Like you must get a grip.
You get angry when people like force their kids onto a stage, and you get angry when
they're not on stage.
When they're not on stage,
and like come
What
up
do you
with
want?
reason. It's like you just must stop.
People are just screaming into the void.
I
guys.
guess.
Stranger Things trailer the other night was intense.
Bottom 3 Beyonce albums.
Bottom.
No. I know I'm gonna be there. I promise. Oh yes, we get. Well, then we will be with you and with both Jimmys, Ghost Jimmy and lovely other Jimmy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. I can't wait. Cowboy Car. No.
Yeah, no.
Cowboy. No. Just by the way, you're wrong. I would say it's
Sasha Fierce, Dangerously in Love.
Yeah. Are we counting the Carters?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Okay. I'm trying to think.
I guess 4. That hurts though.
It does hurt. I think I'd say 4.
Yeah.
If I was gonna list my.
But there's a big gap.
Yes, there's a big gap.
Yeah.
I would say my my Beyonce albums, and the top 3 are all interchangeable depending on the day. But today I'm gonna say Renaissance, B-Day, Lemonade.
I think that's objectively top.
You think, but okay, because it's it's hard for me to. But would you do that order?
No, I don't know. I don't know what order I would put those through because they're all so great for such different reasons.
Right. It's like Britney's top 3: In the Zone, Glory, and Blackout. They could all be number 1.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I think Blackout's.
Yeah, I've come around to it.
I know you have, darling.
In the Zone.
All right, let's start recording.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, It's Pride, and we're gonna sell you some gay shit.
Yes,
and do some gay things. You know what gays love doing?
What?
They love rating and ranking,
absolutely.
and writing reviews.
So yes, you should be like a gay this month and go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating or review. We do only accept 5 stars, but it would really help us, get this podcast out to as many people as possible. That is the goal. We love making it for you. We want people to see it, to hear it, to enjoy it with us, to join the community because we're all a family here.
The Kathy community.
Okay, but it is fun over here. But also, if you are in the New York City or the tri-state area, please go to 2gaymatslive.com and get your tickets to our August 30th live show. We're going to be recording the podcast live in front of an audience that could include you. We're going to be arguing about pop music. We might even be singing a song. It's going to be such a fucking joy.
Yes.
Be there. Don't be square.
Yes. And my brother's book is still available for
Yes.
pre-order by Not Lucille now on Amazon.com. And then you can click the link in this info section where you fill out a form and you upload a picture of your receipt and you can get a video thank you message from me and a signed book plate from my brother.
Oh.
And yeah.
And imagine not supporting gay-owned businesses during Pride Month.
A gay author writing
Yes.
about a fucking diva.
Yes.
Divas galore in this book, guys. Let me tell you, because this girl may be 10 years old and not Lucille, but let me tell you, she packs a punch and she is out there in the world thriving.
Right,
okay?
but not like a too far diva.
Not a too far.
Yes.
Not a too far.
Never too far.
Yeah. So she's very outspoken as a child, and that's why she gets in trouble a lot.
Oh,
her teacher.
I'm seeing it.
And yeah, like Patti, she'd be able to relate to Patti LuPone maybe, except she learns her lesson at 10.
Yeah, she beat her by 65 years.
Yes, but as long as we all learn at some point.
Right. Matt
All right.
Steele.
Yes.
What section of the podcast are we at?
We are on to Email My Heart, and this is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. So the first and actually only email
Yes.
that we are doing today is from Lucero, also known as Girls' Generation.
Hi, Girls' Generation.
Help! That's the subject.
Okay.
I'm going on my first flight in 7 years this week, 2 flights to get to Mexico for a 2-week trip to see extended family I haven't seen in 12 years. And I'm so nervous. My mind tells me I'll be fine, but it is also causing me so much anxiety. Any advice? Any advice for do you get nervous on flights?
I don't. I've always been a pretty good flyer, but Jackson's not. He doesn't love to fly.
What does Jackson do?
What Jackson does is he kind of, gets very, it's not good. He just gets nervous internally because he always says oh, I'm so nervous on these flights. I can't tell. I'm sitting next to him. I'm like, you seem fine. He's like, oh, my heart's a beating. And only when there's turbulence does he grab me.
What does he do to self-soothe? Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, well,
he pushes it down, which is not what you want to do.
Yeah.
But what you should do is, I think there are TikToks or YouTube videos that explain why planes stay in the air, and it's been described to me from someone else who has a flight issue that you've got to think of it as the plane is in the middle of 2 things of jello, and it's yes, it does seem like you're just underneath nothingness, but it's actually you are going and slicing through this jello, and you are very stable generally, if you're on a flight. And for me, it's even though there is turbulence, that is something that happens so normally. And I always look to the flight attendants. It's if they're chill or I'm going to sit down or whatever, then I'm oh, I know I can be chill.
And a statistic that is a fact that will give you some peace of mind is that literally no plane has ever crashed from turbulence.
Oh, interesting.
Literally, yes, planes have crashed in history,
Yes.
but it has never been due to turbulence.
Right.
So even though turbulence feels awful, just know your plane will not be the first to ever. Turbulence is not something that any of the professionals are worried about.
Right.
So if you feel turbulence, just keep telling yourself that. Something that helps me, and I don't know if you can do this, but there's a reason why I always do overnight flights where I have a flight that's at 5 a.m. and I stay up throughout the entire night. So I'm extra tired so I can sleep throughout the entire flight. Also a reason for that is because I'm not afraid to fly, but I find flying very tedious and boring. And so that's what annoys me about flying.
Yes.
And so whenever I'm so exhausted in an airport or on an airplane, I don't feel it. I don't feel the tediousness. I don't feel the anxiety or the stress because I'm kind of so exhausted that I'm so wildly numb. I'm a zombie. I basically hear nothing. I see nothing. I feel nothing. I'm able to sleep on the plane, but if you can't if I'm like awake on a plane and like turbulence is happening, I'm so exhausted that like I wake up and I'm just like, well, if this is it, this is it. Like I truly am so tired that I feel nothing.
Right.
So I'm not suggesting like, completely wear out your body and exhaust yourself before you go on this flight. But I'm saying like that helps.
Right. That does seem to help. And also I would recommend, if you can, getting some noise canceling headphones and just like if you have an iPad or like can watch their TV, like lose yourself into.
You're very much in your own world.
Exactly.
Like,
and that feels very good. I would bring a sleep mask if it is at a time where you're going to bed. I think also just like, I feel like another statistic that I don't know if this just will scare you about something else, but it is so much more dangerous to drive than it is to be on a flight.
Yeah.
Like if you just like percentage wise of like car accidents versus plane accidents. And I feel like the real fear is the lack of control. Because it's like, if you're in the car, it's like, I'm controlling this and it's going to be fine. Yeah. But I think if maybe that's helpful, like it's like, helicopters are much less safe.
You will never get me on a fucking helicopter.
Never. And the thing is, there are things like that where I'm like, when I was younger, I probably would have done it, but now I know too much.
Oh, absolutely.
I won't do that. So you are doing something that's still in the safe column for both me and Matt Steele.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're going to be great once you get the headphones. And it seems like I think you're going to do a wonderful job on that flight. We believe in you.
We believe in you. And enjoy, tell your family hello.
Yes, that's so exciting.
You're seeing them after so long. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Do you have a 2 game minutes?
I don't. Do you?
Nope.
Great.
Should we go on to Travis Tracks?
I always forget about Travis Tracks, and every time it happens, I get like so excited.
Everyone's favorite section where we talk about the playlist that I made my roommate Travis, who knows nothing about pop music.
Yes.
Going through all the songs he needs to know from his birth year, 1991, onward.
Yes.
So now we are in 2003 era.
Oh.
So the next track that we will discuss on Travis Tracks is obviously the classic Toxic by Miss Britney Spears. In the Zone.
He knew it.
Yes. Okay. Travis knows this song, and he has nothing to say about it except obviously legendary.
Absolutely. He's correct.
He thinks it's sexy. It's perfect.
It's everything
because
sexy.
It is. Next song on Travis Tracks.
Oh, God, I'm very nervous.
An album track, Showdown by Miss Britney Spears.
This would make him feel sexy, I hope.
Well, he says, enjoyable, but not a bullseye for me.
Huh.
No. And
what was his issue with that?
He just said he didn't feel much. And I'm like, you didn't feel the sparseness, the breath, the sexiness, the simplicity. Like, I'm like, you really need to start getting into this. Like we love a lush production and everything, but sometimes there's nothing sexier than just like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like he loves Slave for You.
And just, like, I can't think of a more perfect album track.
Yes.
In history.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed with this.
It's okay.
But then we get to Every Time by Miss Britney Spears.
Does he know it?
I asked him, I was like, you know Every Time, right? And he was just like, maybe.
Oh.
He says, not my favorite. Too slow for me. Travis doesn't like a slow ballad. And it's like, Travis. And I gave him the whole history of Cry Me a River, like into Every Time. It was her response to Cry Me a River. And it was just so touching and a pure apology, a pure, full-hearted Patti LuPone level apology.
Yes.
And Travis was like, that's a good story. That's nice context, but still.
That's a good story.
And I'm just like, Travis,
Hurtful.
please.
Hurtful.
I know. Very devastating. Next is Ecstatic Process by Madonna.
Beautiful choice.
On American Life.
Yes.
And he says, I really like.
Yes.
I was shocked when she said Jesus Christ, though. She got all... There's a college friend of mine who became weirdly like... very scarily like hardcore Christian conservative, and I talk about her a lot. I'm not going to say her name on the podcast, but
is someone I know of?
No, okay, no, you don't know this person, but I talk about her to Travis, and Travis is now obsessed with her.
Icon.
Because he's just like, I want to know what happened. She got all This Girl on Us, but lovely song, and I'm like, I don't know if it's a super religious song.
It just seems like she's referencing.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, but Madonna's always kind of been one to reference a religion.
Oh, absolutely. We saw Like a Prayer video.
Like a Prayer music video and everything. So Travis is like, oh, okay. But I'm happy that Travis likes it. Yes. Especially because it's a slower ballad.
For sure.
Thing,
it could have gone a different way.
Acoustic, but like weirdly feels electronic in a very subtle way.
Yes.
Brilliant song. Next song. More to Life by Stacey Orico. A song. Just a wonderful, just great pop song.
Did you put Stuck on there too or no?
Just More to Life. Yeah. And Travis just says, fun. Which, like, you know, what else can you say about this song other than just like, this is just a really great pop song.
It's great. And it's, you know, got a great message. You know?
Travis was like, Ecstatic Process is very religious.
I was going to say, this is some youth group shit.
But this is like some secretly coded religious shit. Like,
worked on me.
I had no idea that Stacey Aurico was like a Christian singer. And then you listen to More to Life and you're like, oh yeah, I guess it kind of is telling kids like, don't chase those temporary highs.
Absolutely.
But like, such a fantastic song.
Beyond.
Next song, Holla Back Girl, Gwen Stefani.
He knows.
And he's just like, of course I love, it's sexy, it's amazing, it's loud.
It is loud.
It is loud, yes. And I talked to him about like Pharrell production and everything. That was that lesson of that.
Very important.
Next song, Since You've Been Gone, Kelly Clarkson. He says a modern classic.
Yes.
I love, I will always love. I talked to him about, you know, Max Martin and everything. And the next one is Behind These Hazel Eyes by Kelly Clarkson. I didn't know which other song from Breakaway I should choose.
That seems right. Like, so, I feel like because of you, he would not have liked.
Yes. So Behind These Hazel Eyes, I feel like
that's solid,
and it gives you a good like glimpse into like the style of the like Kelly's music at this time, what was big at the time, the pop punk thing and angsty. And he says, "Good song, kind of angsty. I don't mean this as an insult, but it's kind of a grocery store song, like a song that." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And he's like, "It's like a song like." I would hear it whenever I go to the grocery store playing. And I'm like, this would be on a grocery store.
I hear that.
Poster.
It's kind of like hot adult contemporary, like adult contemporary, but like a little edgy, you know, like something Pink would make.
Yeah, it's like inoffensive, but still has that little angst to it, you know? So
I'm fine with that.
I don't disagree with that.
No.
As long as he likes it, as long as the ears work. His ears don't work all the time.
They don't.
But it's okay. So we got 8 Travis tracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's moving through time.
He really is. Well, I mean, the 90s and early 2000s blip by. There's obviously more stuff in the late 2000s, 2010s, 2020s because I was more plugged in.
You were very plugged in at that time.
Like, yeah. So, do we do Giving Me Moments?
Let's do it.
Okay. Do I go?
Yeah, if you want to go, what do you want to? What's been giving you moments, Darla?
Well, just, you know, like a little thing. You know how I'm plowing through Survivor seasons, trying to catch up before we get to season 50.
Yes.
And right now, this week, I just started season 37, which is David versus Goliath, which is the Mike White season that Mike White is on. And it's so fucking good. It's like the casting is so great because everyone feels so individual and serves such a specific purpose. Which sometimes especially when there's like, because Survivor, sometimes they start with 20 people. And I'm like, there's so many of these people. And this is kind of the era where they started casting a lot of people who are obviously super fans. So sometimes they get into the rut of everyone having the same super fanish type of personality. But everyone is really like an individual and so interesting. There's this woman named Natalie, and she's like 65-year-old, owns a magazine company and very powerful. The premise is essentially like people like the Goliath tribe is people who have always found success and everything. And the David tribe is people who have really had to like struggle through life to like earn their keep and everything. So this woman, obviously high power executive, is on the Goliath tribe, and she's just like barking orders at everybody. She's been a pain in the ass to everybody, but she is a fucking icon. Like and she does not give a shit. She is just like, she's like, I don't see what the problem with me is. So obviously at some point, spoiler alert, she's voted out.
Of course.
And so there's this other girl named Angelina who is on this season, and she was a part of the Goliath tribe. And the way she is playing this game is so fucking funny because they're like all in this episode where Natalie gets voted out. Angelina did not bring a coat to this show. Everyone brought a coat except Angelina, or maybe her coat was too thin. And so there was this one girl named Lyrsa who they were like gonna vote out, and Angelina was just like, "Hey, Natalie, could you do me a favor? And like before we vote out Lyrsa, could you like steal Lyrsa's coat?" or like ask her to borrow it, and then we'll just like never give. Like truly like
mess.
Like it's just like shady shit.
Yes.
And Natalie's just like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So she goes to Lyrsa. She's just like, "Hey, can I have your coat?" For, you know, reasons and everything. And Lyrsa's just like, "No." And so they all go to tribal, and they eventually there's a flip in the vote. They vote out Natalie. And Angelina, who knew that Natalie was going to get voted out, still voted out Lyrsa, just so Natalie would think like, "Oh, Angelina tried to keep me.
Right.
She wasn't the vote for me." So she would still be in good graces with Natalie as she's saying goodbye. So Angelina stands up and as Natalie's voted out, and she's like, "Oh my God." And she acts so surprised that this happened. And she's like, "I'm so sorry. Can I give you a hug?" And Natalie's like, just gives her a hug, like very matter of fact. Yeah. And then as Natalie's walking away, Angelina just goes, "Natalie, can I have your coat? Can I have your coat? And Natalie just ignores her and just gets her torch stuff. And as she's walking away, Angelina's like, can I have your coat? Is that a no? And just so funny. In the one of the episodes I recently watched, there was this girl named Elizabeth who was a pistol who I loved. Like she was like wore a cowboy girl hat and like was just like, yeah, I got 2 kids and I got blah, blah, blah. Like really, really fun. And so Elizabeth was like on the chopping block to get voted out. So Angelina is just like, my alliance, they're all voting you out. And,
oh my God.
And she like starts crying. She's like, I'm sorry, I just had to tell you and everything. Because Angelina was clearly like, Elizabeth's going to be on the jury. I'm working that jury vote and everything if I'm in the final 3. And so Elizabeth's just like, I know what Angelina's doing. And so at the final tribal, Elizabeth's just like, yeah, I know I'm going out today, but you know what Angelina did? She told me that y'all were voting me out. And so she betrayed all of y'all because I know she's working for a jury vote. And and that's exactly how I would play if I was on my way out. I would just be like burning everything down like Elizabeth did. Right. And so this girl Angelina is so much fun, and she is going to be on Survivor 50 this year.
With Mike White.
With Mike White.
Yes.
And she's announced as a cast member of Survivor 50. And I think this cast announcement for Survivor 50 is so funny because the Survivor fans are furious.
Yeah, I heard they're pissed.
And because there are some people who they feel like didn't deserve spots. It's literally half of the cast. So I think it's a cast of like 25, and like literally half of the cast are people from the last like 6-7 seasons.
I'd be disappointed too.
Which like isn't the greatest era according to the fans.
Yeah.
And whereas like older cast members who people wanted to see again, not as many were invited back, and people felt like the ones that were invited back aren't as like high stakes or as exciting as like a Jerry, who's on season 2 was like the original Survivor villain, like pure villain. Like people like that, or like people like Courtney, and they're very upset because they feel like Jeff Probst really loves heroes on the show. He doesn't like it when there's a lot of villains. He doesn't like it when there's a lot of like fighting going on that's not game related.
But it's a television show.
I know, and that's why I'm kind of just like, this is why I prefer Big Brother,
right?
Because there are truly just fights about random shit, and they're so good. And whereas Survivor, it's all game related. It's a little too meta. It's gotten a little too meta, which like it's still a great show, but still that's like a little issue that I have with it. And so I just think it's so funny that the people are so angry about this season 50 cast. And apparently everyone in there's no one from any of the seasons in the 20s that's been invited. So people are upset about that. Which is crazy because there are some great people, memorable people from there. But also it's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like it when a random person comes back. Because it's like, they weren't the most exciting their first season, but like, would they play in a more interesting way the second time? I kind of like it when it's not the same huge names coming back. Like obviously, like Suri is coming back. Right. People like Boston Rob and Tony and like what's his name? The really really villainous one. Russell. Like they come back and everything, even though Russell hasn't been back for a while. But like those people always kind of come back. But it's kind of like, oh, this Angelina. Kind of inspired, I feel. Okay. Like someone who is not the most huge, big personality, but like just enough to be like, just like wet my taste buds and see. Let me see what they're gonna do.
Well, hopefully it's better than people think it's gonna be.
You know what? I haven't seen the last 14 seasons, so I truly can't say what these other people are like, who people are mad about, but we'll see. We'll see. Matt Palmer, what has been giving you moments?
Mine will be pretty short, but I did just finish the Hacks season. It's season 4 has completed. Season 5 has been renewed, so it is coming back. And I just must say, and spoiler alert, if you have not finished the season, I will be talking a bit about the penultimate episode. I believe it was episode 9 of the season. And okay. Deborah and Ava, Deborah has started her talk show this season was the whole through line. She finally got a talk show. She's been like a comedian trying to have a talk show for such a long time. She had one when she was young and it got canceled, whatever. So she is now the only woman in late night, which would be true if there was a woman in late night in real life. But, one day, so she's the only woman in late night, and she kind of at the beginning of the season, gets blackmailed into having Ava as her head writer. Ava was like, Hannah Einbinder. The whole show's built around them. She basically rebuilt up Deborah's image with her, writing that was more of the time, more what people wanted to hear. And like that's gotten her to be this big celebrity who can get a talk show on a network TV channel. The first 6 episodes of the season, Deborah is so pissed that Ava has blackmailed her way into like this leading role because she's like, I need this TV show to work. And like, yes, we work so well together, but like, I want a seasoned late night professional to be head writer. And she's like, well, if you don't hire me, I will tell the studio that you slept with the head of the studio before getting this job. Do you want that? And so
a little bit of blackmail.
A little bit of blackmail. And so the first 6 episodes, they're dealing with that. They come together. They finally see eye to eye. And the show's always best when they're like working on the same side of things. But then Ava used to work at a show that's essentially like The Daily Show where, it's basically like a smaller show on a cable network. But she ran into someone who like works there and it's like, oh my gosh, we interviewed this very problematic person on our show. And Deborah made one joke about him like sex, like doing weird like sex texting kind of like Snapchat stuff with underage girls. And since the same head of the network like runs the movie studio and this is the star of their new movie franchise, they're like, you need to cut that joke before it makes it to air. I don't want people to see that you've like, highlighting this bad behavior.
Okay.
And so they get in a big fight about whether they cut the joke and Deborah ends up cutting the joke and it's like, it's the only thing I can do. And then they get picked up. They're number one, and they are going to be. There's going to be a live episode right after the Oscars. They're in this primetime slot, and it's live, and it's very cool. But Ava's still unhappy about this, and then it comes out that the Daily Show-esque show is like doing a hit piece about this person and about the network because it's like they are covering up this man's bad behavior and like cutting around his interviews to make him look palatable just to save, like instead of doing the right thing, they just want to make this money. The show's coming out. The head of the network pulls Deborah aside and is like, you must fire this girl. Like, our stakeholders, we want to head on this deck and we want it to be hers. And so they're about to do the live show. She sends Ava off to do this nonsense errand. Like, you need to go to the red carpet and try to do a bit. She's not on the when she gets to the red carpet, they're basically like, you're not listed here. There's no record of you needing to be here. And so they've gone through 4 years of like, Deborah stabbed Ava in the back so many times for her career. So she's like, oh my God, she is firing me. And like, this is the way she's doing it. I'm so pissed. She tries to get back on the lot, tries to use her card to get back in. They're like, you don't work here anymore.
Shit.
But she looks as it's airing live. Deborah's on on stage giving her monologue. And she's like, and the show is such a success now, and we want to thank everyone here. We want to thank the producers, the writers, the band, everyone. And none of this would be possible without one person, and that person is my head writer, Ava Daniels. And the head of the studio asked me to fire her, and I will not do it. And thus, this is the last episode of this show.
Oh,
I was like, such a good twist. I was like, no, I can't believe this. And then she meets up with Ava afterwards. She's like, why did you send me off? I thought like you should have just fired me. This is your dream. And she's like, I knew you would say that. I knew you would try to convince me to just fire you so I could keep this job. And you're very annoying. And so I didn't want that around. I've made my decision. This is the right thing to do.
Oh,
it just was like a beautiful like character growth moment.
Friendship never ends.
It really doesn't.
Oh my God, would you do that for me?
If you, I'd think about it.
Okay, because motherfucker, I am your friend with a hard D. Don't forget that.
Would you do that for me?
Yeah, why not?
You would quit your live late night talk show.
Well, it depends on what you did.
If I told the Daily Show that the studio was trying to cover up this person you'd interviewed. You'd fire me, bitch. I know you would.
Listen. I would have to see what you did was so problematic. If you were Patti LuPone up there hacking up an artichoke.
But if that was the example, I just told the truth about the studio silencing you when you were trying to be like, hey, this person's problematic. Would you fire me?
Like,
this sounds like a yes.
I don't think that's that big of a deal. No.
All right. So you'd quit the show instead of firing.
I would find a way to make. I would give the producers an ultimatum. Okay. All
right.
I would write a strongly worded letter.
Get the community behind you.
And get the community behind you. 500 theater community.
Yes.
People, get the Cathy's community.
Yes.
And then when they give me what I want, I will send them flowers saying thank you.
I don't think it would.
And
work
someone
like
online
that.
will get mad at me, but I'll be like, well, this is my decision.
I love that. I do think you'd fire me at the end of the day. If it was literally keep my show and fire Matt, or...
But like, it depends on what you did.
It was... I told you what I did.
But like, I don't really know the full stakes of just you describing it. Like, it sounds dramatic, but it doesn't sound that problematic.
Well,
like,
the problem is essentially, like, you know, the show would get canceled if you didn't fire me.
I mean... But then it would cause such a stir. I'm sure because the thing is, I'm sure she would create such a headline and everything from this final thing that another network would be like,
comes up. There's a non-compete. So she cannot perform for 18 months because the contract she signed was like...
I'll have an 18-month vacation.
Okay, that's what's happening on the show.
And then the next show will be like... And then it'll be a whole big thing. It's like Conan O'Brien.
I know.
When he like got let go of whatever. And then however many months or I don't know how long it was between shows.
Yes, but then he came back.
And
now he's a podcast.
So be a big... And there's nothing bigger than having a podcast.
Nothing at all, darling.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't fire you if it was something that like didn't truly like... affect me or like
the thing is I was a little loose-lipped, but I was on the right side of history.
Yeah, if you're on the right side of history, then like you're fine. Yeah, I'm not firing you.
Thank you for not firing me.
We're in this together. You're a friend with a hard D because you know what month it is? It's Pride Month.
Happy
and
Pride!
my birthday month. And friends gotta stick together.
I love that. That's beautiful.
We are each other's chosen family.
It's true. Just like that song by Rina Sawayama.
Yeah, you want me to sing it for you?
I think we are running out of time. You got to get to that meal.
I do.
Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, that was such a good episode. The finale was good too. And it was like nice of them because I was like, this could have been the finale. But now they're like, oh, this is her beginning.
There's more girls.
You know, beginning her time off.
Yeah.
But yes. Don't end up like Anderson and Kathy. No. Who's Kathy in that scenario? You with the red hair?
I don't know.
Yeah. Happy Pride.
I guess.
Happy Pride to you too, Luna. Happy Pride to everyone. Even
Happy Pride to everyone. We're having a good time.
Non-queer folks in the chat.
Steele would fire you on July.
Exactly. He's going to wait till Pride Month's over. Isaac. Isaac, this will be the first live show you won't be able to go to.
I know.
So sad. We're considering doing another LA one this year, but her fake TMZ death was very funny. Even though the only thing about that was like, I don't know if TMZ gets it that wrong anymore. Like there was a TMZ article that had come out that like Deborah has died. But she hadn't. I'm like, I don't know if they get like, they do shitty things and you should never go to TMZ. Wait, no, that was not the finale. There's one more episode where they're in Singapore after that, Michael. Gotta watch. It's great.
Who knows what happens in Singapore?
It stays there.
Yeah. Guess
yeah, it's not the finale. There's one more.
How's our friend Rose Abdu doing?
She had an incredible line in the finale, actually.
Yes.
She was so fucking funny. And I'm like, and I'm like, do you still follow me? She might still.
I know. I think she follows me. Yeah.
And I was watching Happy Endings the other day, and I was like, oh, I forgot that you were on this show too. She's
done it all.
She's done it all.
She's done it all.
She's an actress who's on Hacks, and we were on Love It or Leave It with her.
Yeah.
And
she's lovely.
She's lovely, so kind. And that still was like, what do you do?
I know. I've never seen Hacks.
Iconic.
She's like, oh, I'm an actress on Hacks. And Matt Palmer, you could tell he was so excited because he could finally like admit like, I know who you are. And
I know.
And Matt Palmer just goes, I loved you. I love you.
I love you on Hacks. Hey, that was very unlike when I met what's his face from Cougar Town. What's his name? Dan.
I don't know.
He's also in Easy A. He's the gay friend in Easy A.
Okay.
Dan something. And I went back for my, I want to say 10-year high school reunion, and we went to a bar afterwards, and he was there. And it was after my reunion, so I had a little to drink. Okay. And so I saw him walking out of the bathroom, and I was just like, Cougar Town!
Cougar Town!
Cougar Town! He was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then my friend, who's like a girl, went up to him and was like, okay, I don't know who you are, but my friend is a fan of you, loves your show on Cougar Town. And I'm sure he's thinking, oh, there's going to be like a cute girl coming up who's going to be like wanting to sleep with me.
Sure.
And it was me, being like, big fan.
Hi, I love you. I love you.
Love Cougar Town.
You probably would have slept with him too.
Dan Bird. I don't think Dan Bird's gay in real life.
Well, but if he offered.
I don't know. I was more like, what's Courtney Cox like? Or like, what's the set like? And the thing is, I love, no, not Penn Badgley, Dan Bird is right. Cougar Town was great. Ooh, people are fighting for their lives in the you know.
Ooh, yeah.
How am I? Oh, I'm 18. Let me try it again.
Do this and then I gotta go.
Okay. I want to be, where's number 1? Exclamation.
All right.
How'd I go?
Guys.
Still 18? Come on. I didn't get any XP for that.
The winner is Girls' Generation.
Girls' Generation, you're number one.
Congratulations.
And I guess we'll be doing this every week now.
I guess.
Just saying who's number
by the end
one.
of the stream. Congratulations, Girls' Generation. Thank you for the email. Best of, I don't need to wish you luck on your flight because it's going to be great and it's going to go off that edge. But you're going to have a great time on your flight. Congratulations on your trip.
Yes. Thank you guys all for coming.
Yeah.
And congrats to Taylor Swift. And stay good, Patty.
Stay good.
Be on a good.
Patty, take a break.
Take a break.
Breather.
Take a break. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.